Good morning, Daybreak viewers. We'll be live in 15 seconds here.
Easy, Mark. We're coming, buddy.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is where Wisconsin wakes up. It's Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. Here are your hosts, Brian and Jamie.
It's 6:06 right now. You are listening to Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. There we go. I got
right?
the words out.
It's all new, Jamie. It's a
It
whole
is.
new start to the morning. Good morning, everybody.
I was concentrating so hard on the new name of the show after all of the changes over the weekend. I forgot where we broadcast on. It's all right. We're off to
I
a
hear it
rousing
rolls
start.
off the tongue. That's what. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. She is Jamie Martinson. I'm Brian
Thank
Noonan.
you.
And up until Friday, this was Civic Media Mornings. And since January, this was a temporary show.
It was,
They told
yes.
us, even though we didn't approach it that way. We were like, all right, once you put us in the chair, we're not leaving, really, until you get
This
a
is
hook
ours.
and get us out. It's ours. But Jamie, as things happen, change comes to everybody.
Yes.
And
Yes.
change has come to Civic Media. So I will let you, as one of the suits, I will let you you explain.
So this has been an ongoing project since probably mid-January. And as you know, if you've been listening to the Civic Media Network, we've undergone some changes. But today is the day when we launch everything anew. So we are very, very excited.
Yeah.
You'll be listening to Daybreak throughout the Civic Media Network until 9 a.m. Unless you are listening on WMDX, then you will go to Stephanie Miller at 8 a.m. We are going to then be joined by Tom Hartman from 11 until 2 on the network. And then we have a brand new show that will be debuting this afternoon. It is called The Jeff Santos Show. That will be from 2 to 5. And then we will end our broadcast, our talk broadcast with Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach from 5 to 7 p.m. So you can catch them. That will be a little mix of entertainment, some politics, everything we're saying from Washington to Wisconsin. So it should be a very fun 2 hours with them. And they're going to actually join us later this morning as well. But that will be the new talk lineup here on Civic Media. So we're not really changing anything we've been doing. We're going to add a few things because now we've been told
We got an
can.
extra hour. Yeah,
Right.
We've got an extra hour.
So lots of good stuff. Lots
all
of
the
good
things
stuff.
that we would say at the end of the old show and go, oh man, I wish we had some more time. Talk to us on Wednesday when we go, oh, this extra hour has killed us. And I know if you work a real job, you're thinking, oh wow, they have to work a whole 3 hours. I understand. You're absolutely right.
You're right.
We're not breaking rocks here.
No.
So, but we're glad you're here. Spread the word. Tell your friends about the show if you've been enjoying it. If you hate somebody, tell them about the show too. If it'll drive them crazy, we don't care. You can like us
As long as you're listening.
as long as you're here, we're happy because maybe we'll turn your enemies into listeners. Who knows?
You never
but,
know.
Yeah, the focus of the show will still be the same.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of politics, a lot of
Little fun mixed
Wisconsin
in.
news, and some fun thrown in just to keep things interesting and keep us sane because we all
have
need
to.
a little of that.
You do. And by the end of the today, I'll know that the show is called Daybreak with Brian and Jamie, and we're on the Civic Media Network. So watch for that progress roll on here this morning.
Listen,
It's
to be
Monday,
honest,
too.
they're not going to. Nobody. It's nice for marketing. It's great for sales. People who listen just go, "Oh yeah, we listen in the morning." Who do you listen to? I don't know. There's a guy and some woman who does a lot of research, and sometimes there's a producer that jumps on and they're funny.
Like me.
And
Yes.
and
Thank you, Parker.
Well, no, I was talking about Frank, but
Yeah, go figure.
and then sometimes there's just voices. We don't know, but there's a lot going on, and they
There
give
is.
us the facts, and that's so the focus of the show isn't going to change.
No.
The facts are going to lead. There will be opinion because, well, we're human and we have opinions.
Yep.
But all those opinions are going to be based, hopefully, in facts, and we will strive to give you the facts of the story and let you kind of parse it out for yourself.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
Our little help from us, if it helps. If it doesn't help, disregard
and we'll
the
have some good
opinions.
discussions, and we want you to call in, and we want you to text in. That number is 1-855-752-4842, 1-855-75-CIVIC. Now, should we jump in, because it was a big
let's
weekend
get to
of news.
enough self-serving stuff. The big news came Friday, right as we were ending the show on Friday.
This is why we need that extra hour.
Yes, we need the extra hour because we would have been able to handle it then. If you've been, I don't know where you could have been, maybe Iran getting ready for a military strike, but that's in the next hour too. But the Supreme Court struck down President Trump's far-reaching global tariffs in a 6-3 decision. That means, 3 conservative judges went to the other side and actually supported the Constitution, which is nuts. So this was a horrible loss for the president on his economic policy and his big agenda. And boy, he didn't take it well, Jamie.
No, he did not. Now, the justices said that the Constitution clearly gives Congress, not the president, the power to set taxes and tariffs. It's pesky Constitution again. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that the founders did not give any part of that taxing power to the executive branch. And I thought Justice Neil Gorsuch's writing for the majority was really interesting, because he emphasized that while legislating can be slow and frustrating, that process ensures laws reflect the combined wisdom of the people's elected representatives, not just one person, interestingly enough. He called it a bulwark of liberty, even when the outcome disappoints. Now, Trump, as we all know, had imposed these tariffs under a 1977 emergency powers law and argued that it allowed him to regulate imports during a national emergency. The courts ruled that the law does not clearly authorize broad global tariffs, and that the major economic decisions like that must come from Congress. And
he doesn't like that. The president doesn't like that, and he has said over the weekend we'll hear some of what the president said at his press conference Friday, which, quite frankly, left me shocked. I couldn't believe I was hearing a president of the United States speak about his Supreme Court that way, and basically thumbing his nose at the Congress and just saying, I can do
his handpicked justices too.
Right. He couldn't believe that they chose the Constitution over him. And wow, it was amazing.
Yeah, this is cut one.
And might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Even more tariffs, actually. Those statutes include, think of that, those statutes include, for example, the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, Section 232. All of these things I know so well. The Trade Act of 1974, Sections 122, 201, 301.
All right. So the president
first of all, good for him for knowing all the trade acts.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So that was obviously him talking about how he's going to implement these tariffs, because by Friday afternoon, he announced a new global tariff, first 10%, then raising it to 15% over the weekend in some Truth Social post. This time, he's using Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act, which allows a temporary tariff of up to 15% for 150 days to address serious trade imbalances. After that, Congress would have to act to extend it. But this is where he criticizes the courts. This is cut two, please.
And I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. Wow. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution.
No. See,
no.
they are being 100. We didn't play the part, and I don't think it's. No, I don't think it's in the next clip where he said they were under the influence of foreign powers.
Yeah.
Where I was at that point, I was like, okay, he is so far off the reservation. There's no bringing him back. And to say that you're disloyal to the Constitution because you actually interpret it, and this is what has bothered me about the Supreme Court, not just this court, but for a while. It's not supposed to be partisan.
Right.
Their job is what they actually did on Friday. They did what they were supposed to do. And there's always a dissenting opinion is okay.
Yeah.
But they looked at the law, just the law, and made the decision based on the Constitution. And the president can argue all different ways, but anybody who studies the law, any legal scholar is like, they were right. It's written down. Yes, they interpret the law based on what the case before them is. But this was the right thing to do. And for the president who handpicked these people, he handpicked them thinking that they would be his lapdogs, to use his terminology.
Yeah. No, it's the whole thing was jarring. And there's another piece of audio I want to play because this is the one that I found the most revealing about what the president thinks his task is. This is cut number 3, please.
Can't charge $1 to any country under IEPA. Not $1. I assume to protect other countries. This must have been done to protect those other countries, certainly not the United States of America, which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country-destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything.
That's saying the quiet part out loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it basically lays bare what this administration believes tariffs are really all about. And this isn't just about balancing trade numbers. It's not just about negotiating leverage. This is a worldview from this particular administration. And this goes back to what we've talked about multiple times and was talked about during the election process. This is isolationism. Right? This is isolationism when you're trying to destroy other countries. And history tells us that isolationism will always come with consequences, whether that's economically or whether that's politically. And we can debate the trade deficits. We can sit here and debate manufacturing policy. Those are all very fair conversations to have. But when the underlying message is we're pulling back from the world, that is really dangerous territory for a country whose economy is deeply tied to the global markets. And let's be clear, there's going to be financial ramifications from all of this. The stakes for what's happened are huge, simply because there's $175 billion in refunds that the United States could now owe because of these tariffs.
Well, let's get to that after the break. We want to talk about that because somebody's owed some money. If this is the case, is it you? Is it businesses? We're going to talk about that. We want to hear from you, your thoughts on this weekend's event. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. That's how you get a hold of us. Jamie, let's hear the new name of the show.
This is Daybreak, 619 on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
So, MDX off the air?
Yep. Working on it. I called Drew.
Okay.
Didn't get anything from him. I also emailed engineering. I don't know who's next.
Somebody said it wasn't on the app. Has that been remedied?
It's not on the air
It's
at all.
not on at all.
Oh, I mean,
It's
yes.
not on the app as well. Yes.
Okay.
Both are true.
Perfect. Well, not perfect.
Not perfect. No.
Nightmarish.
Have you heard any? I don't know if you've reached out to anyone, Jamie. Have you heard back from anybody?
I have not.
Okay, because it's odd that Drew didn't answer my call.
What the heck is happening this morning?
Nothing is ever smooth on the first day, but this seems odd because that shouldn't. The new lineup should not affect whether MDX is on the air or not.
No, MDX had a couple issues this weekend too.
Oh, no good.
Why can't I? This is this craziest thing. I've tried to text back to some of these people who are texting, and it literally won't let me.
We're done. Frank says he's texting people back.
Okay.
Be nice, Frank.
I'm just letting poor Tracy know.
Okay, got a hold of Drew. He's going to call me back in a couple of some seconds here.
Okay.
We'll be back in 30 seconds, just so you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yup.
I never left, just for the record.
Huh?
I never left.
Okay. I
Parker
missed
doesn't-
whatever. I've missed whatever y'all were talking
That's all
about. I
right.
don't
You
know
said
what
we'll
to-
be back. I said I never left.
Ah, all right. 10 seconds.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Civic Media Network. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. I am Jamie Martinson.
That would make me Brian Noonan. Good morning. We'd love to hear from you. 855.
At least we know who we are today.
Well,
Well done, Brian.
Thank you. I'm listen. Don't let it be said that I'm not on top of things. I have my thumb on the pulse of this program. 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. We were talking about the Supreme Court ruling in favor of the Constitution, which immediately put them at odds with the current administration over their tariffs. The administration has stated over the weekend that they will be increasing global tariffs to 15% using. They're going to try some different finagling. These tariffs will go into effect for 150 days. However, the big question over the weekend, Jamie, was we took in all of this money from the tariffs. We've collected, according to the Treasury, $133 billion with these tariffs that have now been shown to be illegal.
Right. Yeah.
Where's that money go? Who's going to get it back? It's supposed to have cost American families upwards of $1,600, $1,700.
Right.
These extra tariffs, because despite conversations to the alternative, tariffs are paid by you and I, because they are paid first by the American business that is importing the goods. Those costs then get passed down to us, and it has been shown that we have all paid more since these tariffs went in. But I don't know. Are we going to get a check in 2 weeks? 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks. 2 weeks is usually the standard bearer for this particular administration. But customs had already been collected, as you mentioned, on $133 billion. And I think that's a number that we have to keep in mind, because those are tariffs as of December. And obviously, you had another 2 months of growth in there. So we don't actually know what the full number is going to be yet. On Friday, the court did not directly order refunds, but they did say that the government didn't really say that the government can keep the money either. Several states and companies are now seeking repayment in court. Nevada, Illinois, and California have already been the most vocal about saying, are you going to refund each family the $1,700 that they deserve back in these tariffs? Now, Justice Brett Kavanaugh in the dissent warned that sorting out the refunds could be messy, especially since many businesses have already passed those costs on to the consumers, because, again, you actually pay for those costs. These are the important facts to remember, right?
Brett Kavanaugh doesn't want to make Daddy mad, so he's not going to come out.
Well, no, of course not.
Because Daddy was very proud of Justice Kavanaugh, as we played in the first clip. Yes, very, very nice. I know, and I know following the story, there's a local toy company who was instrumental in this Supreme Court case, a northwest suburban Chicago toy company, small importer, and they make educational toys. Well, now they're going to be on this too, along with the state, trying to get money back, as every business should be. We talked to Rico Torres from the Journal Sentinel the other day about how much in tariffs Harley Davidson had to pay. You don't think Harley Davidson wants to get that money back? You don't think anybody in any industry, you don't think some of these farmers want some money back from the things they had to get? Everybody deserves this. But somehow I have and this is conjecture. This is, while we say we lead with facts, sometimes there is conjecture because it puts thoughts in your head as well as coming out of our heads. I think he probably believes he could keep that money.
Oh, I think so. Of course.
I collected it. I put the tariffs in. I get to keep it, just like the $10 billion I'm going to use for my board of peace.
Exactly.
Or $10 billion. Did I say million? Million.
Million.
That's chump
billion.
change. Billion is what we're talking about.
Mark over on the text line chiming in this morning saying, my guess is that any refunds will not be coming to we the people, but to them, the corporations. Small businesses need not apply. And I think that's exactly right. I mean, let's be clear. This administration is banking on many different money avenues right now. And tariffs were just very much a part of that. Now, what I think is going to be interesting, because this battle is not over, right?
No.
Because this new tariff that he put into place over this weekend, let's be clear, they only have 150 days before Congress has to be involved in whether or not these are legal, whether these are just.
Right.
So this is just a battle that's starting now. And Congress hasn't even been in session for 2 weeks now. Again, 2 weeks.
This is more petulant toddler behavior.
Yes.
Okay, you ruled against me. Well, my minions have come up with another way, and at least I get 150 days. And I'm not going to. He said, Donald Trump said, I'm not going to Congress.
No.
This is a president who is now, I believe, out of control and believes he doesn't have to go through the other branches of government, thinks he can unilaterally decide things. And now that the Supreme Court has done their job, he's starting to realize, there is a point, and the law hopefully will continue to rule rather than one man.
The checks and balances are still there according to the Constitution, and we still have people, minus the Congress, who are willing to uphold those checks and balances. The courts, here's the thing. I understand that this administration ends up in court a lot. I understand they push the boundaries. I understand that we don't always like the outcome. But the courts are actually adhering, a majority of them, let's be realistic. We've also seen instances where it has been handpicked, right?
Correct.
But the courts, for the majority, are holding up. They now need Congress to do their part to also make sure that these pillars of what we know as our government, our Constitution, are in existence. And this is where this particular administration is going to have problems, because when leaders are openly framing things like global trade as something to be walled off, that's not just minor policy tweaking. That's a philosophical pivot, and we need people to uphold the Constitution, not just the courts. They're going to need help to do that.
It bolstered my confidence in the court,
Of course.
this decision this week, when I saw his hand-picked justices picking the law and the Constitution over him. When we come back, speaking of laws and Constitution, the Wisconsin Assembly skedaddled for their 9-month vacation, but they got some things done, and then they left some things unfinished. We'll talk about all of that after this. On what is it, Jamie?
It is Daybreak, 629 on the Civic Media Network. Boy, there's a lot they left on the table, too, in Wisconsin. Holy smokes. Hey, and if you're listening on the stream this morning, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Good morning. Hello.
I hope you like our new logo and color scheme. It's very soothing.
Very pretty.
It's like being in a pediatrics ward. So that's very fitting. It's very nice. Parker wanted to put like little elephants and circus animals on the
Some
balloon
balloons.
too.
They
Some
wouldn't let me. I couldn't
balloons.
believe it.
Some balloons.
Get it all very festive, calming. So it looks calming, and then what we say gets you all
Yes.
revved up.
Yes.
The topics upset you, but the colors ground you in a nice, soothing atmosphere. Yes.
I have
Breathe
too many
in.
things open. There we go.
Breathe out.
Oh, John from Oshkosh. I kind of wish I would have seen this. Says, almost like the tariffs was
Yeah.
all a scam to benefit the rich all along. Yes.
Yes.
Can't deny that with this administration, that's for sure. Does this just mean that he gets like another $100 and some billion in his pocket
yeah.
somewhere down the road?
Somewhere that money's not going back. So
No, of course
it's going
not.
somewhere. And he'll say, well, if it was illegal, why should everybody get it? Why should we
They
keep
had
it?
no intentions of there's I mean, let's be realistic. Just like there's been no intentions of an actual health care plan, just like there's been no intentions of feeding people, coming up with SNAP benefits, pulling back on ICE. None of those things are actually things that this administration is going to do at all.
Nope. No.
They're just going to continue to do whatever they want.
But like the DEA and stuff can seize assets gained in an illegal way. Shouldn't the Treasury? Well, he runs a Treasury Department too. I was going to say, couldn't the Treasury Department or somebody seize that money and disperse it, or give it back to who
think.
has deserved it?
He just keeps putting all of his handpicked people in there, though.
I know, but even his handpicked people are looking at the Constitution, going, we can't just we're judges.
do whatever
we took an
want.
oath. We gotta. We have to. Even laymen know that this is not.
They're
this
not going
is
to put
not
their
right.
careers and their reputations on the line
No.
for one person because they can see where this is at. I mean, they're obviously not stupid people to be in the positions that they're in, right? I mean,
no, they're not. Even you may disagree with them 100%. Which
Philosophically, for sure.
Philosophically, I do. A number of them, but they took an oath. They swore, and maybe they take their oaths more seriously. And I'm glad
somebody does.
Quote, couldn't care less if they come to the State of the Union.
Right?
Man.
Have you noticed that since her Epstein hearing, Bondi's been sidelined?
Yes.
We have not seen her trotted out for
No.
days, like almost over a week now, right? It's been over a week.
Once you publicly embarrass the king, he puts you in the corner.
Because they're trotting Kristi Noem out in front of boxes now to talk about, big drug cartels and things, which
love
I'm
the
sure with
cartels.
the news in Mexico yesterday.
That was crazy.
That was insane. We'll probably see
Wow.
Kristi Noem trot out here in the next few days. But Pam Bondi is completely sidelined right
We
now.
should probably see if there's somebody who's a reporter or something that can down there that we can get. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But for all their yelling, the cartels have not done, the administration blaming cartels for everything from ingrown toenails to fentanyl.
Right.
They haven't done that here.
Trump is vowing to avenge the most damaging loss of his second term, says the headlines.
Me. I'm Inigo Montoya. You killed my tariffs. Prepare to die.
So ahead of his State of the Union tomorrow, he is vowing to avenge the most damaging loss of his second term by promising even higher duties on imports.
Oh, I will avenge me. I will avenge my tariffs. How
All
dare
right,
you.
we'll be back in 15 seconds.
My name is Donald Trump. You killed my tariffs. Prepare to die. Well, he's going to destroy everything. His country, our country. God and country.
It's 6:35 right now. You are listening to the Civic Media Network. This is Daybreak with Brian and Jamie. If you're listening in Eau Claire on 93.5 The Tap, or in La Crosse on WLCX, up in Hayward on WBZH, we are so glad that you are here. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Good to have you here. If you want to get involved in the program, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. We spent the last half hour talking about tariffs and what the Supreme Court did, and now we must turn our attention up the street to the Wisconsin State Capitol, where, as you know, Friday was the last day, Jamie. They had worked, tirelessly for about, a month and a half.
Maybe about a month and a half, yeah.
And now the legislators are tired, and the outgoing Robin Vos gavelled them out for their legislative session. Maybe they come back for a special session in the spring if the governor gets his way. Maybe they don't. We don't know. But we do know that they did get some things done. They're still debating some other things. Some things important were kind of left on the table. They made a little progress in this session.
They did, and I think if you're a Wisconsin voter, you'd like to see the assembly not gavel out and continue some of that important work for the 2025-26 session. And the final days were very dramatic. Now, on Friday, we talked about a couple of those big healthcare bills that had been stalled for months that Robin Vos finally allowed to come to a vote. The first extends Medicaid coverage for new mothers from 60 days to a full 12 months after childbirth. Wisconsin was one of only 2 states not offering this year-long extension. The other was Arkansas, by the way. The second measure, known as Gale's Law.
I'm sorry, you make me laugh every time you say Arkansas, just because you are judged by the company you keep. And no shade on Arkansas. I've been to Arkansas.
No.
It's a beautiful country.
It's a beautiful state.
Beautiful country. I don't know if I want to be lumped in with their
with their policies
views.
and their laws.
Yes.
Yeah. The second measure, known as Gale's Law, requires insurance companies to cover supplemental breast cancer screening, such as MRIs and ultrasounds for women with dense breast tissue without paying any out-of-pocket costs. Now, several major bills have already been signed into law this legislative session. One new law requires all Wisconsin school districts to adopt policies banning cell phone use during instructional time. Now, you were a former teacher.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel about that particular law?
The self. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yes. No, I'm 100% behind that. Here's the deal. I think there are ways, and I remember talking about this when the bill was proposed. Cell phones are a distraction. If I am a parent of a kid in this day and age, I do want my child to have some access to me. The problem is, if you have a grade school kid or a teenager, they're not really using it to call mom and dad. They're playing Fortnite. They're doing whatever it is. They're texting their friends. So there has to be some sort of way to do it. Even if it's the teacher has a basket on the desk, on their desk, and the phones go in the basket, and then the phones are returned. When you line up to go to lunch, you grab your phone, and when you come back, you drop it off. But then you also have to have that strict policy for infractions. There has to be some accountability. But yes, you have to. Instruction time is instruction time, and we would occasionally have. We had the rule the phones had to stay in the lockers, which is partway there, but it doesn't address the, God forbid, there's a need for kids to be sheltered in place, and they have to get a hold of their parents. So it was off to a good start. We would have a couple kids try to sneak it in, and then it was all right. You have to take that back, and that's always going to happen. But they knew the expectations. They knew they didn't usually argue because they knew that was the way it goes. I'm for not having phones. A long-winded answer to your question after I had a little mental breakdown. But yes, it's a
Monday. It's good.
It is Monday.
So in this particular law that the legislature did pass in Wisconsin, schools have to have their policies in place by this year. Now, lawmakers also approved the creation of a statewide nuclear power summit and a formal study to examine potential sites for future nuclear or fusion energy projects in Wisconsin. The governor talked about this in his State of the State. They've actually teamed with University of Wisconsin-Madison for some of those projects. Another new law from this session gives candidates a clear clear path to withdraw their names from the election ballots under certain circumstances, something that previously was not very well defined in Wisconsin state law. They also passed Braden's Law. This makes sextortion a felony in Wisconsin. The law criminalizes threatening someone to obtain sexual images or forced sexual conduct, and it was also named after a Wisconsin teenager who died by suicide after being targeted. And then finally, there's a new patient protection law that now requires written consent before medical professionals can perform a pelvic exam on a patient who is unconscious or under anesthesia. So they got some things done because those measures are now officially part of Wisconsin law. So as much as we joke about this 9-month vacation, there were some things that happened.
But think of what could have happened if they only took a
Yes.
6-month vacation.
Right, because despite that progress, there are still some major unresolved issues in the
Such
state.
as
Yes. Right now, Wisconsin is sitting on that projected $2.4 billion budget surplus, billion with a B. Republicans want to use a large portion of it for tax rebates, $500 for individuals, $1,000 for married couples, along with the property tax relief through school levy credits. Now, Governor Evers says he wants more direct funding for public schools, particularly general equalization aid, arguing districts are turning to local referendums to fill gaps. Well, we'll never know what the answer is because they gavelled out. The future of the Knowles Nelson Stewardship Conservation Program is also uncertain without legislative action. The long-running land preservation program will expire this summer. This has been a long, ongoing conversation. The Republicans have wanted very little movement on this. And I shouldn't say all. There has been a little bit of a bipartisan effort, but probably not enough to get this moving since it has officially stalled. Now, some other items still in play include releasing already approved funding for PFAS cleanup, a proposal to legalize online sports betting through tribal partnerships, and long-term funding for Wisconsin Eye, which, of course, is that nonprofit network that broadcasts state government proceedings. The Assembly has likely finished their regular work for this session. That is the important part to keep in mind. The Senate will continue meeting into March. A special session on those tax cuts or other issues does remain possible. From what I am understanding, I would not hold my breath to see that. I would not see Robin Vos bringing back the Assembly to get any of this work done. And there are some major bills that are still heading to the governor's list. The medical, the Medicare, the expansion of Medicare for postpartum mothers, and Gale's Law should be arriving on his desk this week.
And he's going to sign those, no
Of
doubt.
course.
So those are big wins, not only for Democrats, but for all the women of Wisconsin.
Yes.
So, ladies, congratulations. Good for you. Does it bother anybody else that the business of the state is run like a television show with a cliffhanger at the end where we don't know now what's going to happen? We've got some things in place. Will there be online gambling? What will happen with the budget surplus? Tune in next season for episode 1. But don't miss episode 2 because that's the last one. We only do 2 episodes and then we go home.
Well, yes. And let's be honest. If you're a Wisconsin voter, you should be very disappointed in your representation right now because there is a lot that they could still be doing before they call it quits. And
in their
Robin
defense,
Vos
though,
is just not.
we talked to Representative DeSanto on Friday, and she, along with a lot of other legislators, are saying, no, we don't want to go. We want to stay and get the work done.
Right.
So it's not everybody. I don't want to point fingers, but you can use you're intelligent. You can figure out who wants to go home. You can point them.
It's the Republicans. They're done. They're checked out. They're blaming it all on being an election year. And that shouldn't sit well with any of us because they were elected to do a job for a full term. Campaign season isn't some surprise that just pops up on a calendar
Jamie,
for them, right?
Is the length of the term written down anywhere? Yes, it is. And they're fulfilling, I know, they're fulfilling their letter of the law. And
I guess.
And it's infuriating when you say, wait, it's nobody else. I'm sure everybody listening this morning, us included, would say, 9-month paid vacation.
Awesome.
I'm in. Yeah.
Right.
I will bust my hump from New Year's Day to the end of February and then see after Christmas.
I mean, if there's there's major issues that are still unresolved, and there are, as we
There
just
are.
talked about, tax policy. I mean, we'd all love to see something happen with our property taxes, right?
Yeah.
Conservation funding, school support, transparency, the PFAS cleanup. Walking away this early should raise some serious questions, and I don't care how you vote, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican,
Right.
whether you're an independent, you should expect the people that you sent to Madison to work until the job is actually done, because that's what you elected them to do. And to be clear, once again, the Democrats are not in control. If they were,
True.
they would still be at the Capitol working on all of these issues that affect each and every one of us in our daily lives.
Do you know how
that is not
furious
happening.
Parker is that they didn't get to this online gambling thing? Because he's a
Parker?
degenerate. He
My
wants to bet
friends
on
are.
every
My friends are
Brewers
degenerates.
game. He wants to bet on every Badgers football game in the upcoming season. He wants
I
to bet like
personally-
nobody's watching.
Meh. Personally, no. My generation, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
your
checks.
generation loves to gamble.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do.
I mean, it's
Go
free
back
money.
to drinking
It's
like
free
old
money.
other generations. It's not.
We can do that too. We can multitask.
It's not free money.
I have a 22-year-old. He places his fair share of online bets. He also wins his fair share of online bets, and he has an account that he won't let me have access to
That's
because
smart.
he doesn't want me to see how much is in said account. So he's obviously been more successful. He's the frugal of my two young men in the house. But I don't understand the online betting thing. When it comes to like Kentucky Derby, let's be honest, I just pick the horse with the best name. I don't really care.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good strategy.
That's a
don't-
very good way to go about it.
That's usually the only reason I used to bet on the Kentucky Derby is before the Derby we would have an expert on
Sure.
to talk to, and they would give it. And you know how many times I won with my expert's pick? Goose egg.
They're
Nada.
horses. They're still going to do whatever they want.
Horses
at the end
do
of the
what
day.
horses do.
That's right. That's right.
But no, I'm
and-
not. I've never been a big gambler. I don't. Even when I would go to Vegas.
Right.
Back in the day, but back when Vegas was affordable and not just for millionaires, back when you could get like a room for $60 during the week,
And go eat the buffet for like $5
and then
somewhere.
find low limit tables.
Yes.
$5 blackjack, I'm all in. But I would, I had like a $200 budget, which is not even a hand anymore.
No, not in Vegas.
And I guess if
The-
you have the money to lose, it's okay. But
The whole theory of Vegas is completely lost on me. It really, truly is. Other than a few shows, I just don't understand the appeal of Las Vegas. And I know that is contrary to a lot of people because I know that there are people who love Vegas. I am not one of those people. I like to go out into the desert and do the tours and a little hiking when I'm in
Sure.
Vegas. And
look
that's
for dead bodies.
That's well, yes, that happens as well, I'm sure. But I have never encountered that. I'll be
Well,
clear.
that's a shame. I watched a really interesting thing yesterday about how Vegas is a good microcosm and reflector of the overall economy. And now, regular people, the tourism numbers are down because Vegas has priced themselves out. Because
Yeah.
unlike when the mob was there and it was like get people in and keep them at the tables, no matter how cheap the rooms are and the food and everything is. Vegas now is catering toward the ultra rich. And so normal people aren't going, but Vegas is still making a profit because there's a lot of ultra rich people in the world, I guess.
There are a lot of ultra rich people.
Can I
and
meet some of them?
They apparently hang out with the president a lot too.
Oh.
So, hey.
They're getting their tariff refunds. All right, well, that's good to know.
It's 6:48 right now. You are listening to Daybreak. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. YouTube is going into a museum, but we'll talk about it after this on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
We back on MDX yet?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yay!
Oh, good.
Yay!
I'm sorry I got distracted. This is why I'm going to get rid of this screen because I like seeing that somebody has texted, but I don't like. I saw Tom's text from Hartford. And
Yes, that was a nice text.
I was like, Tom, that was so sweet of you.
That
Thank you so
was.
much. I don't know where he's listening on WISS, not the stream, but yeah, and that's one I wouldn't read on the air because it's very self-serving. But
Don't toot your horn too much, Brian.
we will not.
I don't read those kind
I
of
know you-
texts. I got listen, Parker, I'm Irish. I have low self-esteem.
Well, I don't know if nationality matters for that one.
Oh, there it is. Now I'm back. Now I'm back looking at Jamie's sliders from last night and the few
Those look so
messages we've
good.
sent to each other this morning. Let's do a look. Is that everything bagel seasoning on top of there?
It is. So those are the best sliders ever. So it's Hawaiian rolls. So you take and you put them in the oven and broil them until they get just a little brown. You cut them in half, obviously, and you broil them. And then you take 3 tablespoons of mayo with 2 tablespoons of Dijon. And then you put a light coat on both sides. And then you use Swiss and cheddar cheese. And so I do like a kind of like a checkerboard of them. And then you layer Black Forest deli ham on them.
Okay.
And then you take 4 tablespoons of melted butter. You put a teaspoon of onion powder in it, and then 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. And I can never say the word.
Worcestershire.
So I can't say that
Yeah,
word
I
for
love
some
it.
reason.
A lot of people can't.
It's a very hard word for me to say.
I don't know why it was barbecue. So when I was a kid, I used to call it wish wish,
Yeah.
but not Worcestershire. Barbecue sauce. I call it barbecue
Barbecue
sauce
sauce.
wish wish.
See, and I just say that in our house because I get made so much fun of when I can't say it. I just call it the W sauce because otherwise Corey
Yeah,
and Dexter make so much fun of me. So then you just drizzle that over the top, and then you can either use poppy seeds or the everything bagel, and then you bake it until everything's melty. So
I've
that's
been
what those
seeing
are.
so many recipes on TikTok for the Hawaiian rolls, all different kinds of sliders made with
Mm-hmm.
the King's Hawaiian, which I love.
Yes. So so
those
we
look
also
good.
I also have like a turkey and provolone recipe, and I can't remember that one off the top of my head because it's been a while. And then I have one where you actually like use the butter with some maple syrup in it, so it gets like a more sweet flavor instead of a savory flavor. So
Oh my.
yeah. And then I always do like sweet potato tots or sweet potato fries with it. So
See, and that makes me very hungry. But I had big success so far when I recommitted to my program.
Nice.
On Wednesday, I've done 12 pounds since last Wednesday.
wow, nicely done.
Yeah.
We got 10 seconds here.
10 seconds.
6:52 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. I am Jamie Martinson.
And I'm the aforementioned Brian Noonan. If you want to get involved in the program, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. I'll be honest. I am not a huge, this is going to put me in the minority and show my age. I'm not a big YouTube enthusiast. Even
Sure.
though my podcast is on YouTube, Crafty Brewers, Tales Behind Craft Beer, a little shameless plug. I don't care. Don't at me. You don't have to. And we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube right
We
now.
are. We are.
People are watching
Hello.
us on YouTube. And I have no beef with YouTube. I just was late to the party.
Sure.
But people remember more than 20 years ago when YouTube burst onto the scene, and it was just you'd go there for, I don't know, I don't even remember what they put on there. But now they're deeming YouTube museum worthy, Jamie, as at least at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. They have an exhibit highlighting the birth of YouTube. It's just a man flipping a switch, and all of a sudden, God.
I love this. I find this very fascinating because it tells you where we've evolved at
Yes.
as a society, that YouTube, being just over 20 years old, already has its own exhibition, right?
Yeah.
So the museum has created one of the earliest YouTube web pages, along with the very first video ever uploaded to the platform. The video is called Me at the Zoo. It was posted on April 23rd, 2005 by the YouTube co-founder. The clip
Okay.
is only 19 seconds long, and it shows the co-founder, his last name is Kareem, standing in front of elephants at the San Diego Zoo, casually talking about how really, really, really long their trunks are.
Not a euphemism.
It is not a euphemism, and it also tells you exactly where the plight of society was going, that this is what intrigued us more than 20 years ago.
It's
Since it was-
amazing, isn't it? You think back
It is.
2006, and we were like, There's a guy at the zoo in front of elephants. We don't know
Look, and
this
he's
guy. He's just a guy.
videotaping it, and
Yeah.
he's talking about it.
And he's just putting it up, and he's not important. He's just a guy.
He's just a dude. So this video has been viewed more than 380 million times in its course of its 21 years. The museum's digital team spent about 18 months rebuilding what the YouTube watch page looked like in its very early days, specifically from late 2006, working with YouTube's design team, I should say, to make it as accurate as they possibly could. This exhibit is now on display in the museum's Design 1900 Now gallery, and it gives any visitor a snapshot of the early internet era. And a lot of people remember that as the start of Web 2.0. Now, people at the museum say that the goal isn't just to show this old video of some guy standing in front of elephants with really, really long trunks, but to highlight the moment a global cultural phenomenon began, one that continues to shape entertainment, art, and everyday life around the world. I mean, there are YouTube-only
100%.
now broadcasts, right? Like,
Oh, sure. And there's, now YouTube TV with all the streaming
Yes.
services, and comics and musicians put their specials directly to YouTube. You don't have to go through the old channels of distribution and hoping a network will buy your show. You can just, if you have a fan base, you can go to YouTube, and with the monetizing and all of that, you can do very well on YouTube. And it is a cultural phenomenon to think.
it is.
20 years is not a long time for it to go from that, because think of all the other video-based social media platforms that have come and gone in that time. It's
Think
just
of
been
MySpace, Vine,
Vine,
MySpace, all of those.
MySpace, Periscope.
Yes.
TikTok changed the game with short form stuff, whereas now YouTube. But even now, and I have limited knowledge of this, but even now you need shorts on YouTube. YouTube wants shorts that are doing very well, and it's all so it has grown. And the Victoria and Albert Museum is gorgeous. If you ever get a chance to go to London, see a museum. Not all of them. There's too many, but you can go to some.
What I think is fascinating is you can really find anything you want on YouTube. We all become a superstar in fixing our dishwashers, fixing our sinks, our cars, because there's always a tutorial. And in our personal life, not only do my husband and I do this radio gig, but we also own a storm chasing company. And we've been going for basically as long as YouTube, 20 years now, in fact. And a majority of our chases are now broadcast not only on the platform we built from scratch, but also over on YouTube. And it's a major part of how our chasers make money to continue their ventures of going out and pursuing dangerous weather situations. And then, of course, informing the public about what's happening. Because now they can interact with people over on YouTube. They can, people can donate to the chase. They can do all of that, and then it's where media companies also find our chasers videos then to put into those documentaries and things like that. So we've learned to utilize YouTube to our advantage in a business model, because of all of its capabilities as well. And plus, there's really great puppy and kitty videos sometimes when you just need to not think about anything.
you made a good point, because now you always feel like, well, I can, if it's a minor task, I can learn it from YouTube. I have how to tie a bow tie bookmarked. That's where I learned to tie a bow tie. Is on YouTube. How I've done a million. You're laughing, Parker.
No, because I've done it too.
We all do it. I'm always looking stuff up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's become that tool that we all have that you don't think about the origins. And so that's why your point is correct, Jamie. This is a great exhibit because it does show how far we've come in just a short amount of time.
Do you think, here's the question that I would have for the founders of YouTube. When you put up that very first video standing in front of the elephants with really, really long trunks, did you ever think that YouTube would be what it is, or did you just think that it was going to be a place for silly, goofy videos to humor people? Like, that would be my question for them.
They probably thought Chocolate Rain was going to be the pinnacle of their success. Chocolate Rain. Parker, have you ever seen Chocolate Rain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
How do you see? That's the other thing with YouTube. It makes stars, and they last for about a minute and a half, and then Chocolate
Justin
Rain was
Bieber.
everywhere.
Justin Bieber was a
Well,
YouTube
okay,
star
that's
way
true.
back in the
so
day.
he has lasted. But the Chocolate Rain guy, we don't even know his name.
I have no idea. 6:59 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Newton and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
Thank you, John, in Oshkosh. YouTube has saved me thousands in repair costs and maybe encouraged me to bite off more than I could chew a time or three.
I
That
agree
is
with that part
correct.
too.
That is correct.
Oh, how hard can it be? Famous last words.
That guy just made it
Quite.
look so easy.
Yeah, this guy did it in a minute 30. We didn't see the 8 hours he edited out.
Or the fact that he's a professional and has probably done this one task 900
Yeah.
different times.
He put in the 10,000 hours, and now we're
Yeah.
screwed. Hey, hour one in the books.
I don't want to
Hey, and I finally know the name and the network name. It's
You got
great.
it. See?
Yeah.
God, that threw me off. I was concentrating so hard on the new name of the show that I was like, I don't know where we're broadcasting on.
The people know because they turn on the same station every day. So they're like, oh, okay.
I didn't want to mess that up, and then I messed up the entire thing.
Listen, we're on. We got we did an hour. We did it.
It's Monday.
It's you know, the show's the same show we were doing, only longer.
Yes, with a new name.
No, we have a new name, and I guess it's nice that they named it. I like it better than Civic Media Mornings.
I do too.
So.
Oh, yeah.
But the name doesn't
Do you
matter.
know how annoying it was to be the Civic Media morning show on the Civic Media Network?
Yeah, because we had to say it
Yes.
a bunch.
Okay, that was a soliloquy for the viewer, I suppose. Sorry, Ryan. It wasn't for you.
My name's Brian, not Ryan.
Did I say Ryan?
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, I don't want to Bigfoot you, Parker, but just look at the name of the show.
Oh, I thought you were Jamie. Sorry.
This
But
bombs.
you didn't call me Jamie either. I would have been okay with that.
This bomb cyclone in the Northeast is crazy.
Yeah.
Anytime you have to
much-
name a weather pattern after some destructive explosive device,
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
Over 40 million people now under blizzard warnings. 1.5 feet of snow has already fallen.
Wow. Yeah,
How does-
thankfully Molly is in western Pennsylvania. They're not getting.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not coming that far across. But man, those people are going to get hurt.
Public transit is out. Travel bans. More than 10,000 flights have been canceled.
What is the normal time of year for a nor'easter? Is it normally this late in February, or
Yes.
is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, they can start. I mean, there's been nor'easters, and like this will be the first time in 5 years they've gotten this type of snowfall.
Yeah.
But nor'easters, I mean, we have a ton of chasers out there. They can start as early as like November, depending on if it's just the right
Oh wow.
pattern of snow coming and line of weather coming from Canada.
Okay.
Oh, you have folks out on the East Coast during this?
We do. We have several right now.
Yikes.
They're covering for like AccuWeather, Weather Channel, My Radar. Some of them are actually picked up some local affiliate contracts for the next few days while they're out there. So
What kind? Do they have custom vehicles to get if there's travel
four-wheel
bans and all that?
drive.
Wow.
4-wheel drive.
Nope. They just. And then
They
our
just are
one
nuts.
chaser, who's also one of our business partners, he actually has to be in Orlando tomorrow. He's in New Jersey right now.
That's not gonna
So
happen.
he will. Oh, I bet you it does. Bet you Jordan gets there.
These guys will drive through anything.
They are.
That's true.
They are. He just got back from. Where was he? I believe he was in one of. I can't remember what part of Asia he was in, but he was out covering a typhoon. So, and then he got stranded for about a week. Ended up flying back a lot later than he intended, but he got back. So he goes like and does things across the world globally.
Have any of them pulled a Dan Rather and chained themselves to a tree during a hurricane?
No, they have not.
All
They
right.
have not. But they cover hurricanes.
Oh, I'm sure they cover them, yeah, but
That happened?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
What?
when he was a young reporter
Yep.
at a local affiliate. That's not. I guess it's
shamed
one of the ways he
himself.
made his name.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
surely that's a bad idea.
Well,
It is a bad idea, and don't call me Shirley.
All right, Ryan.
Wow, Frank, we have to have a meeting after.
a couple weeks ago he was flipping you off.
This
Today,
insubordination
he's
will not
just-
stand.
That's true.
This will not stand. Oh, man. You're lucky. You're lucky I'm miles away.
I know.
Parker, be nice.
Thank you, Frank. Frank always has our back.
This is the voice just out of nowhere.
Okay, I'll be nice. Sorry, Brian.
Too late.
So-
No, it's too late now. Now I know you're only being nice because Frank reprimanded you.
400,000 are without power already.
So what's going to run in Jeff Santos' place?
My work here is done.
Rerun the third hour of this show.
Yeah.
Well, it's
In
a
Madison,
3-hour
where they don't
show, so
All right. Well,
We got about 10 seconds till we're back here.
that's too much time.
right now. You are listening to the Civic Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us on this Monday. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm going to let you guess who I am. If you want to get involved in the show, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. This bothers me for a myriad of reasons. We talked about the Wisconsin Assembly gaveling out for the next 9 months. Before they did, they passed a bill that would ban Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP benefits, known as Food Share here in Wisconsin. It would ban those recipients from using those benefits to buy pop and candy. Now, I understand that there's more nutritious and better ways to spend your money or your benefits. Everybody deserves, one, to make their own choices. And you can argue back and forth if those choices have put you in the position to need those benefits, which we know is not the case now because of the economy. More and more people are using those benefits. People you probably wouldn't even assume have to use those benefits are using those benefits. And for the government to tell you what you can and can't eat, they can tell you how many benefits you get, and that's what you get. And if you use them, that's the way to go. But I'm sure if you are a person who receives food share benefits, you have learned or are learning, if you're new to the benefits, how to make those benefits last as long as you can. But just like anybody who's not on those benefits, it is on a budget, knows how to make their dollar at the grocery store last, you also know that sometimes, no matter how tough times are, and especially when times are tough, you need a treat. And so why not be able to buy, as Easter's coming up, a bag of candy for your kids? Or even if you just want to stop and get a Coke and a Snickers, yes, maybe you should be buying vegetables or hamburger meat. But this day, you don't care about that. You just want a Snickers and a Coke, and you're going to figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you either figure it out or you don't, but you're able to make that choice. So this, I went off on a tangent, Jamie, but it's so bothersome. It's, once again, let's be small government until it's personal.
Right.
Then we're going to tell you exactly what we want you to do and how we want you to eat. So,
Well, and let's be honest, right? I mean, as you mentioned, there are families, there are disabled, there are elderly, small business owners who need these food share benefits, and most of these people are not filling their carts with just candy and soda because
No,
these
of
benefits
course
are
not.
limited, and the requirements as of February 1st are also stricter than they've ever been. So most families don't really get that much of a benefit, and they're stretching every dollar just to make it through the month. So
$6 a day is what
Right.
they're getting, basically,
Right.
per person.
Yeah.
$6 a day.
Which is obviously, if you've got a family of 3 or 4 or 5, you're that's not going to feed everybody,
Yeah,
right?
candy and pop are not at the top of your list.
And the healthy options are a little bit spendier. So you do sometimes have to fudge it a little bit, or you have to do the canned versus the fresh to make that budget stretch a little bit. And this bill includes about $69 million and funding for 70 new state positions at the Department of Health Services. So it's not just about cutting the candy and the soda from the SNAP benefits. Lawmakers say that the funding is critical to reduce SNAP payment errors and avoid potential federal penalties. Now, under a federal tax and spending law signed last year, states can be penalized if their SNAP payment error rate rises above 6%. So the Evers administration estimates that Wisconsin could face penalties of up to $205 million if it doesn't improve its error rate. Now, of course, supporters of this particular bill say the added funding protects taxpayers and also ensures the state doesn't lose that federal money. But they also argue that banning soda and candy promotes healthier food choices. And let me be clear.
Duh. Everybody knows that.
Right?
Come on.
We all know how gross candy can be for us, but every once in a while you have to have something, right? You have to.
Why don't you eat an orange if you want something sweet?
I don't know, because an orange is good, but a Snickers is better.
It's better, right? It is some days. So this bill also defines candy very broadly, including chocolate bars, gummies, caramels, and chewing gum.
Chewing gum is not a candy.
But it excludes baked goods, which is also interesting to me because brownies to me can be just as much in that unhealthy, category as candy or pop can be.
If I eat a box of Girl Scout cookies, it's just as unhealthy as if I have 2 candy bars.
Right, exactly. So soda includes sweetened beverages like pop, energy drinks, sports drinks, and even flavored water. Milk-based drinks, coffee, and unsweetened tea are not included in these particular provisions. Wow. Now, Democratic lawmakers criticize the measure, arguing it unfairly targets low-income families and creates what they're calling a two-tiered checkout system, saying that the healthy argument is being used to justify restrictions on people living in poverty. And that's essentially what it's doing, right? I mean, here's my other question of this. How do you police it? Like, how do you actually go through and police something like this to make sure that it is, I mean,
well,
I know
you have to know that it's impossible because are you telling me every clerk at every Quick Trip, every clerk at every grocery store, every gas station attendant in everywhere in the state is going to know exactly what? Well, wait. All right, this is a Haribo gummy. Is that a can? All right, that's a candy. But is trail mix a candy? Because trail mix has nuts, but it has M&Ms in it. So where do we go? What about a granola bar? So you expect some 16, 18, 42-year-old person working at the Quick Trip to go.
Plus, they're not going to care.
Yes, exactly.
They're not going to care. And if the line is backed up 10 people, their job is to get people through as quickly as possible, not sit there and police everything that you have in your little basket or cart.
Imagine how furious you would be if you're at Quick Trip trying to get a couple Dunkers and a cup of coffee, and all of a sudden they're in front of you having to go through some federal state database to say, well, this Nature Verily granola bar, that actually comes down as a grain, but you got the sweetened one, so now we have to move it to the candy aisle. Stop. Ring me up. Tell me you'll see me again next time. And
it's all too much. It's just all too much. And we have Todd on the phone from Madison this morning, and he had a comment about this. What do you have to say this morning, Todd?
Well, there's a lot of research out there about effective altruism and a lot of research that shows when you just give people money, they make good choices with it. So, yeah, I agree that, giving the recipients a choice of how to spend their resources is good because if you just give people cash when they need it, it really seems to help them a lot.
Yeah, and even if they make a mistake one time and they get to the end of the month, they go, "Ooh, we're a little short." People are smart enough to figure out, all right, next month we've got to do this and this. We budget them a little better. Maybe next month we cut out that extra bag of whatever, chips or cookies or something, and we get something that'll last a little longer. People will learn. Todd, thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
We also have a couple texts coming in. If you want to chime in this morning, 1-855-752-4842, 1-855-75-CIVIC. Tom from Hartford, listening on WMDX, says robber barons equal cruel, I should say. And Roger in Stevens Point says most family use their SNAP benefits just to buy the dollar cans of ravioli and chicken noodle soup. Yeah, that's not wrong.
Right.
Now, here's the thing that bothers me most about this particular bill, okay?
Yes.
In a separate vote, the Assembly also passed a bill requiring Wisconsin to turn over their SNAP recipient data dating back to 2020 to the federal government. So
Why?
the Trump administration says it wants that data to investigate fraud and has warned states that they could lose benefits if they don't comply. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul has joined a multi-state lawsuit challenging that data request, and a federal judge has temporarily blocked the enforcement. Both bills will now head to the Senate before they could reach Governor Tony Evers. But the bigger concern, though, is this data piece for me, because the move to turn over years of SNAP recipient data to the federal government raises some serious red flags. We are talking about personal information that is tied to income, household status, and financial hardship. And we're told it's about investigating fraud. Okay, fine. Investigate the fraud. Broader data grabs like this, though, make people nervous, and for very good reason, because there is a long history in this country of certain communities being singled out, especially by this administration, and scrutinized more than others. And let's clear something up. This isn't just immigrants who rely on these programs, if that's what this particular administration wants you to believe. We've mentioned it already. It is seniors on fixed incomes. It's people with disabilities. It is small business owners who are trying to get their business up and running. It's families with two working parents who still can't keep up with the rising costs. So needing help to put food on the table is not a character flaw, and it doesn't have anything to do with one's immigration status or
ability to
citizenship.
contribute to society or
Right.
anything else. But it goes back to what they tried to do in Minneapolis, where they said, the administration is the they that we're talking about, we'll pull out the troops if you give us your voting. We'll give you SNAP benefits if you give us the data of the people who are using it. Well, the administration wants to believe that through those voting records and through that data from SNAP benefits, they'll be able to find people that they want to somehow purge from the voting rolls. It all goes back to, how can we stay in power? Do we stay in power the right way and let people vote for us and win the election fair and square? Or do we do all sorts of nefarious end-arounds to try to make sure we can get people off the rolls and make it harder and harder for people to vote? It's nobody at the federal level's business. If I lost my job and in order to keep my family fed, I went on Feed Wisconsin or food share benefits. It's nobody in their business unless somebody's going to if I'm committing fraud. Yes, we have to there, but that's state oversight. That's not federal oversight. Wisconsin polices food share. We don't need the government, and they sure as heck don't need all my other information. Just like Doge didn't need all my information, but they want to have that thumb on the scale.
Of course. And when the government starts expanding its reach into our personal data in the name of oversight, we need to start asking tough questions regardless of our party. And shame, by the way, on the Wisconsin Republicans for thinking that this is okay and passing this bill and greenlighting this administration for getting our personal information. Your job is to protect the people of the state who voted you into office and try to do better for them. Helping people eat should not come with some sort of public shaming or this unnecessary surveillance that the Republicans or this particular presidential administration thinks that it does. That is, people need to eat. People need food. And it's not just black or brown communities using these benefits. That is not what's happening here at all. It's sometimes your farming communities in this state.
Exactly. You'd be surprised, I think, of the people you know now that are having for the first time to go to a food bank or apply for benefits. And there's no shame in it. If you have to keep your family fed, you do what you have to do. And it's hard for people. And for them to now have that added stigma and fear that, boy, it's hard enough for me to get this. I don't want everybody in the government now to know. I don't want my information. It's not up to them. And it's not up to them what I choose to feed my kids with these benefits. I know what's best. Sometimes, listen, we all eat junk food once in a while.
Sure.
We all make decisions that are not always in our best interest, but then you learn and you move on. But it's your choice. Your choice as an individual, your choice as a human, your choice, dare I say, as an American. So you got to fight this. Next, we're going to play a game, Jamie. I don't know what it is. Frank has come up with something new. It's called Swipe or Stay. So as part of the new regime, we're going to do it. Where are we going to do it?
We're going to do it on the Civic Media Network. You're listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. It is 7:20.
All right.
I just want to keep seeing if you'll say it right or wrong. I just it's my own personal game. It's like, will Jamie get it this time? Does she have? Unfortunately, fortunately, and fortunately for everyone, unfortunately for me, you have gotten it right every time since the first time. So,
I think
there's
it's gonna
still
be a
time.
week-long game. Yeah,
There's still time.
especially in the third hour. Aren't we supposed to be off?
Catch me by like Wednesday when I'm tired and it's a game on.
we need to have like a inside running tally of who flubs the most. Like a little
It'll be me. It'll totally be me.
Sometimes though, you get in that you're just used to saying things the same way all the time. Have you messed up call letters, Jamie, before?
No, I never did. Only because I usually, if I was at a new station, I usually had like a big note in front of me for like that first couple of weeks with the call letters, the slogan, because I didn't trust myself.
I feel like phone number is the one that I always flubbed.
Phone numbers I would get.
Would just kick into another gear and I would just rattle off the phone number from years ago.
Oh, this is a good comment from Alicia. Says when you check out the Snap card, the Snap card will not let you pay for certain things. So you will have to make up the difference with other payment methods. The cashiers don't have to police the purchases. Thank you for clearing that up for us, Alicia. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I said the wrong call letters once for sure, maybe twice. But the phone number I've started to do the phone number because like you just 591-7200 and when they're close, it's like, that's not the number.
I lowered the blinds, but it's still.
And now you're going to be in the studio for longer.
Yeah, I can't. Now, what will the lighting be from 8 to 9?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Jamie's going to start wearing aviators.
It's like I lowered it thinking I had it low enough, but it's just not quite high enough. It's still hitting right below.
10 seconds.
Getting blinded with science.
Let's break out of the bubble and see what's happening out there in pop culture. It's Swipe or Stay on Daybreak.
7:22 right now. You are listening to the Civic Media Network. This is some groovy kind of music. I like it.
Right on.
My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And yes, this is a new segment for the program, Swipe or Stay, because we'll explain it all again later. But we're on an extra hour. It's a new show name. Same old folks doing the show, but a whole big thing. So Frank, our executive producer, has come up with this game. Now, Frank, we are really
what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't know what we're up to.
Waiting, I know. Okay, guys. So here's how it's gonna go. There is no competition in this game. It's more we're all playing as a team.
Then how do we know who wins?
Nobody. We're all winners here on Daybreak.
Okay.
Brian.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
wow. It's like youth soccer. Okay.
All right. Do I get a participation ribbon at the
course,
end? Okay.
of course.
All right.
Jamie needs something to walk away with.
How's a high five sound? Can you give a high five?
Sure.
Oh.
All right, that's fine.
Brian.
How about a hearty attaboy
There you
or
go.
girl?
Yeah.
So here's how
Good
it's going to
job.
go. I'm going to read some vague headlines revolving around pop culture news, and you guys will have to decide if you want to stay and talk about this and hear more about the story, or if we're going to swipe on to the next one. In the event that Brian wants to stay and Jamie wants to swipe, Parker gets to chime in and be the tiebreaker.
Oh, this is a big
There we go.
responsibility.
This is-
Yeah, Parker. Who you gonna nuzzle up to?
Oh,
Jamie or me?
Well, I think I'm on your bad side, Brian. So
You put yourself there, brother. You started out high regard.
All right, let's get on to the first one.
Okay,
so
here we go.
A 46-year drought ended yesterday, and it was celebrated by a controversial figure.
Do I want to swipe or stay? I'm going to say I want to stay.
I do
know
too.
more.
I got to know. That's a
Okay.
very good tease, Frank.
That is a good one.
I'm not leaving. All right, so here's what's going on. For everyone who lives under a rock, the U.S. men's hockey team won the gold medal yesterday. For the first time in 46 years since the Miracle on Ice. I know we're going to talk about the hockey portion more later. God, I love it. Thank you, Parker. The most patriotism I've felt in years. So thanks to an overtime goal by Jack Hughes, even less expected than the overtime win was FBI Director Kash Patel partying in the locker room, seen chugging beers and singing Toby Keith with the team.
wow.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I've ever seen the director of the FBI, acting director of the FBI.
Doesn't he have better things to do? Weren't there like attacks in Mexico or something yesterday?
There's attacks in Mexico. We might be going to war with Iran.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what's your point?
But
I'm
Mr.
unsettled.
Patel's a huge hockey fan.
I'm unsettled.
Why can't he go to the Olympics and party in the locker room and wear somebody's gold medal and pretend like he just won?
No. That's you could hold it, but you can't put it around your neck. You're not supposed to do that.
We're pretending again. We're pretending again.
We are
okay.
pretending
Cosplay.
Hey, yeah. Okay.
But yes.
Well, I'm happy for the hockey team.
Oh, it was
boo on Kash Patel.
Yeah,
but, okay.
We'll talk about the game, but it was great, and I will say, watching the game yesterday made my Sunday morning so much nicer than following the news shows. It was glorious. Glorious. Do we have another,
just
Frank?
replay that every Sunday, by the way.
There you go.
All right, moving on to number 2. A sibling is defending Prince Andrew.
Swipe.
All right, we're swiping on that one.
All right,
a politician is accused of having an alias.
Ooh, stay.
All right, we'll stay on this one.
I'm not leaving.
All right, we're staying on this one. Donald Trump is being accused of calling into C-SPAN as John Barron, commenting on the Supreme Court's tariff ruling. He called it so this caller was John Barron. They announced him as a Republican from Virginia. We do not have the rights to play the audio, which makes me so upset.
Oh no.
So badly.
Oh.
But he called it the worst decision you'd ever have seen in your life. Practically. He also referred to Hakeem Jeffries as a dope and said Chuck Schumer couldn't even cook a cheeseburger.
Well, I am so glad you brought this up, because last night my wife goes, "Can you believe Trump's calling into C-SPAN?" And I was like, "Where did you see that?" She said, "Online." I go, "Okay, is it from a news?" I became Jamie for a minute. I was like, "Did you source it? Where did you find it? Can we triple check this?" And then she played it for me, and I was like, "Man, it does sound like him." But I said to her, "It could be the guy from Saturday Night Live."
So I have to say this, and I want to be clear about this, because I know our higher ups are listening. C-SPAN did come out and say it was not the president that called in. However, Donald Trump has been accused in previous decades for calling into radio and TV shows under different names.
Correct. Correct.
But allegedly, this was not him.
And how did they know? How do they know? He has his own cell phone. He's never relinquished that or given up his control for White House secure. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, how do you actually know?
You
right?
don't.
You
Well,
don't.
can we squeeze one more in?
One more.
Parker, can we do one more?
We have 1 minute. So
okay. 2-star athletes are being sued for copyright infringement.
Swipe, yeah.
Pop star seen filming a highly anticipated special.
Ooh, stay.
We are staying. Yes, Hannah Montana seems to be back.
I've
Miley
heard
Cyrus.
Yes.
Seen in a Mustang sporting her blonde wig, filming for an announced Hannah Montana special, which is coming soon. There has been a lot of speculation that there could be a tour or at least a couple shows coming. To which my wife said, if that happens, she is prepared to empty our bank account. So let's hope it doesn't.
Well, that's nice.
My-
All right. Well, from
Hannah
Hannah Montana to Iran, Frank, great job on Swiper Stay.
Thank you.
Thank
We will turn our attention to world politics. And hey, are we going to war? Let's find out, Jamie.
Well, we're going to find out with Dr. Russell Lucas in just a moment. It's 7:29 Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network.
That was fun. I like that game.
That was fun.
That was fun, yes.
Who's on the phone?
Dick and Madison. I have not gotten to him
Okay.
quite yet, just because they had to take care of the music there.
No, you're good.
Dr. Lucas, good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Russell. How are you?
Oh, hearing us okay?
Hello.
Gonna take that as a no.
All right, Parker.
Work.
All I can hear is Parker feverishly
Yeah,
I
typing.
hear Parker. Heard Parker typing.
Screen check.
We should
that
be
was
able to like override somebody's computer settings.
Right?
It'd be
That's
nice.
scary. What are you, the government?
In this instance, yeah. I'm worse. I'm a producer.
I'm the producer.
I accidentally just turned on caps lock. I
dun.
don't want to see him like I'm yelling at him.
No, don't yell at our poor guest.
No.
If all else, we'll just have him call.
Yes. See if I remember how. Audio. Speaker.
At least this is the long break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I always prefer guests on a longer block, actually, because we get a longer
Yeah.
time to check with them.
Makes
It is
sense.
snowing and sunny all at the same time.
No, it's very
odd.
Oh,
There we go. There
Okay,
we go,
there
Russell.
we go. You Russell. Hi, I'm gonna use them. I use the microphone on the computer if that's okay. It's not working.
Yes, I think that's. Hang on, let me. We're having some echo problems. Let me play with your settings a little bit here.
Here.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Sorry, Russell. We're hearing. Oh, are you still here, Russell?
we lost him.
I wonder. Shoot. Okay. Let me put in the number to the show chat or into the chat for a second here.
98. Oh, there he is.
All right.
Okay, there we go. That's better. I
There
turned off
we
the
are.
echo cancellation.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Yay.
Da, da.
No.
Oh,
So we're still hearing ourselves, actually, Russell.
Okay. Should I try the echo cancellation button again? And see what
Yeah,
happens?
check that one for a second here.
Okay, I just turned on the echo cancellation.
All right, now we'll see.
all right.
Okay.
Okay,
No?
that time it worked.
All right. Yay.
Perfect.
All right.
This is
Perfect.
all right. Thank you very much, Russell. Thank you for troubleshooting that.
That's
All right. Yeah, I have found that the headphones don't work the best with this new computer that they gave me.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, thank you for joining
Yes,
us this
thanks
morning.
for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And are you in East Lansing?
I'm just outside of it. I'm actually in Okemos, Michigan, which is
okay.
east of East Lansing. So.
Very nice. You guys are too far north to be getting all that snow that was coming to the southwest, right?
Yeah, we got some dustings yesterday, but not nothing more than an inch yesterday.
Oh, that's
And this morning it's pretty clear here.
Wow. So, like, I'm watching some of these updates come in Boston right now. It's officially hit Boston. They have 5.2 inches as of 7 a.m., but they're supposed to get up to 3 inches per hour for the next few hours.
Holy smokes.
Wow. So they could get over 20 inches of snow with wind gusts as high as 75 miles per hour by this evening, as it ends this evening. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
We're coming up on the end of the break here. We got 20 seconds till we're back. Russell, just so you know, I'll give you 3 minutes, 2 minute, 1 minute. It's a 14-minute segment, just so you know.
Okay, great.
And at the end of the segment, I'll play music for the last 30 seconds. If you hear the music, just means wrap it up.
Okay.
It's 7:35 right now. You are listening to Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. My name is Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Welcome. If you want to get involved in the show, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. There have been a lot of questionable decisions in the Trump administration based on foreign policy, and now it appears that we are on the cusp of a military action in Iran. The big question, well, and we'll get to that with our guest. Dr. Russell Lucas is our guest. He's a professor at James Madison College and College of Fine Arts and Letters at Michigan State University. He teaches about international relations and domestic politics and culture of the Middle East, as well as theories of global studies. His research specializes on Middle Eastern politics with attention to foreign policy, public opinion, and he seems like the perfect guy to talk to this morning about all this. Professor Lucas, Dr. Lucas, thank you for being here. Let's start with the easiest question, I guess, to ask, the hardest question probably to answer. What has gotten to this to the point where the U.S. is now on the cusp of a potential military action in Iran?
Well, thank you for having me. That's a really good question, and there's I think a lot of different answers have been offered because the reasons that we're currently in the situation that we are in, the Trump administration has not been really clear about why it would like to potentially use force against Iran. The main justification in what the negotiations in Geneva that between the Iranian delegation and the U.S. Negotiators, Stephen Witkoff and Jared Kushner, neither of whom are professional diplomats, is trying to kind of, in some ways, get the United States back to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or the Iran nuclear deal that the Obama administration had negotiated, that the Trump administration left in 2018, that limited Iran's ability to enrich uranium to a place where it could have a nuclear weapon. Iran wants nuclear enrichment capabilities, they claim, for peaceful uses, but also, that they could have the idea that they would want a nuclear weapon as a deterrent against attacks from foreign powers like the United States or potentially Israel. So the other thing is there's lots of other reasons that have been offered for potential U.S. military action or for issues of negotiation, such as Iran's ballistic missile program, some of which were used against Iran when Israel attacked it last June, or Iranian support for a variety of their allies, especially non-state actors, such as the Houthis in Yemen or Hezbollah in Lebanon. But these aren't clearly part of the negotiations right now. But it actually has not really been clear as to why the United States would be doing this from the United States. So there's a lot of speculation, and I'm happy to talk about some of what those are.
Yeah, and I mean, let's start there, because the president has suggested that a regime change might be the best thing. But from a strategic standpoint, I mean, what would be the objective of a strike? Would it be a deterrence, the destroying of the nuclear capabilities, that regime change he keeps talking about, or are any of those goals even realistic when it comes to Iran?
Well, the military capability of damaging Iran's nuclear program, supposedly was already obliterated.
I was going to say, didn't he quote unquote totally obliterate it?
Right.
I mean, in fact, it probably did not. It did damage it and it probably put it back, quite a bit. But At the same time, even then, Iran has learned the lesson that it needs to kind of distribute and hide its nuclear enrichment capabilities. And so we really don't truly know, especially without UN inspectors that could potentially look into these sites. The ability to destroy the ballistic missile program would take a lot of work. And in the end, Iran knows that these type of things are coming, so they would probably be hiding some of those military assets again. And to lead a regime change would be using aerial bombing is really optimistic. Iran's government is unpopular, and there have been recent protests that the government has really severely cracked down upon, thousands of protesters killed and injured. But there's also still a number of groups in Iran that are supporting the Islamic Republic, that have a vested interest and will defend it against domestic threats to the end. And, the United States is not going to really be able to affect regime change just from the air. Remember, it took in Afghanistan local military allies on the ground to overthrow the Taliban. It took the United States and coalition forces a massive land invasion to invade Iraq and overthrow the government of Saddam Hussein. And in the end, Iran is very unlike Iraq under Saddam Hussein, which was kind of, so to speak, a one-person regime. The Islamic Republic has been in power since 1979. It has a large, diverse social network of groups that support it. And especially the Republican Guard is not afraid to use force against domestic opponents. And so it's not going to, fall easily just by dropping some bombs on it.
Our guest is Dr. Russell Lucas. He's professor of international studies at James Madison College and College of Arts and Letters at Michigan State. He specializes in Middle Eastern politics with attention to foreign policy, public opinion, and political policy. And in that regard, Dr. Lucas, are you seeing parallels between what's happening now between the U.S. and Iran and what happened in 2003 with the Bush administration in Iran? Are we going down that same path?
Well, really, all you need to do is change one letter, but actually, no, there are a number of big differences.
Okay.
Well, let me start with the commonalities.
Yes.
Number one, the United States, and part of this is also, I think, another actor that's really involved, that has really been encouraging President Trump to pursue this policy, has been Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, who has made Iran really a central point of his career and trying to remove that threat from Israel. And, in the end, today, after the conflicts of the past few years, Iran's the only state in the Middle East that opposes the United States and Israel. There's a lot of non-state actors or militias that do so, but Syria, Iraq, the Sudan, Libya have all of those states are either have regime change or have kind of fallen apart into civil war. The Houthis in Yemen, the Hezbollah in Lebanon they aren't state actors. They don't have that capability. But Iran is a big state, 90 million people, really hard geography for foreign invaders to try to get into. And actually, as a state for like almost 500 years, really hasn't pursued military action beyond its borders directly, except in self-defense. Of course, Iran does have a network of those non-state actor allies. So, this is kind of the commonality between 2003 and today. But the big difference is that unlike the administration of George H.W. Bush, who got UN authorization to remove Iraq from Kuwait and then to attack Iraq, unlike George W. Bush, who at least had a coalition of allies, went to the UN to try to persuade people, had a very public campaign of mobilizing the US public, got a congressional authorization of use of force. The Trump administration has not done any of this in trying to mobilize an international coalition or even seeking a authorization from Congress for the use of force, and has not presented a coherent rationale as to why the United States is going to use the force of a 2 aircraft carrier group armada in attacking Iran. Now, it could also be that in the end, President Trump is trying to pursue the art of the deal, where he's waving a big stick and then trying to get the Iranians to negotiate. And that may happen, and that would probably be a good scenario, that Iran would try to strike a deal to not have the United States attack. But
I'm sorry. So if Iran did offer a temporary suspension of, say, their nuclear enrichment in exchange for some sort of sanctions relief, Dr. Lucas, would that reduce the risk, or would that just delay the problem?
Well, this is kind of where I think we're not quite sure, because there's 2 parts to that. One is the Iranian government has kind of learned the lesson that the United States negotiates and then leaves deals.
Right.
And so the United States really doesn't have credibility
Right.
in the issue.
Yeah.
On the same side, the United States, is not inclined to trust Iran either. And there is, inside the Trump administration, there is kind of a debate as to, first of all, whether it's worth attacking Iran. And, there's the contingent of America First isolationists have been pulling President Trump to not do this, and were much more forceful in his first term. So, but they're not going to be, that group has been kind of marginalized. Charlie Kirk is not alive to make that point. Tucker Carlson has been kind of marginalized. People like Marjorie Taylor Greene are no longer really inside the Trump circle. And that is leaving both kind of the Iran hawks, such as Marco Rubio, or also Prime Minister Netanyahu, who, has a strong channel with Trump directly and also through a number of influencers.
Dr. Russell Lucas is our guest. He's a professor at Michigan State University. We've got a little over a minute left. Are you surprised, Doctor, that we're not hearing more from national security advisors or experts kind of debating this? It's all coming from the administration. It's the same, as you said, mixed messages, no real reasons. Why do you think we're not hearing from the people who know best?
Well, I mean, because a lot of those people who know best probably are going to be saying this is not a wise idea. And so those type of voices tend to get neglected when that's the message that, President Trump does not want to hear.
Right.
Also, President Trump does not have a very robust foreign policy system of advice. He doesn't really listen to his advisors. And, whether he's listening to the military or not, who can, they can destroy things, but the question is to what policy?
Right.
Yeah. And so, Dr. Lucas, as we wrap up here, if you were advising policymakers right now with your level of expertise, what's the single most important question that you think they should answer before making any decisions?
Well, I think, the point is, the United States had a deal that was a lot better than where we are today. Can we get back to that? That would, in some ways, President Trump would have to admit that the Obama policy was not a bad one. And that's highly unlikely.
Yeah. That's probably not going to happen. Well, we appreciate you being here. That is Dr. Russell Lucas. He is a professor at James Madison College and College of the Arts and Letters at Michigan State University. I'm sure as this progresses, we'll probably have to talk with you again to understand all the ins and outs of this. But thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great rest of your day.
It is 7:48 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson. I am Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Rosie Greer. And this is the Civic Media Network. Thank you, Doctor. We appreciate
All
your
right,
time.
thank you.
It was very informative, and I hope we talk again.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Awesome.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good
Look forward
day.
to
Thank
it.
you.
Hopefully, on the other hand, hopefully just everything turns
Yes.
out
Yeah,
right. You
that's
don't have no need to talk.
right. Well, somehow I think the Middle East will always have something to talk about.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
You too.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye bye.
Sorry, Frank.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Frank.
Well, you popped on me.
Oh, over us today.
Dr. Lucas is great.
He was very
Yeah, he was
good.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's very, very good. Yes.
What are we talking about? Oh, I know what we're talking
The Olympics.
I have so much to say on this now. I've
Well-
so
Good.
much
I'm going to go down and get a sandwich.
after that text.
Well, oh, yes.
Rosie Greer was a baseball player? No.
Yes, it was a.
Yeah,
First of all, it was a joke.
And first of all, we didn't mention sports. What? Huh? I was just. It seems like after Jamie says our names, I'm like, and then she says who she is. I'm like, well, that only leaves one, I guess.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Working out the kinks.
No, that's not. That's just me. It was nothing. It wasn't an impeachment on what you did. I'm like, I don't want to say my name again. I just said it, or Jamie just said it.
Ryan's just being goofy.
Yeah, really. What's
He's a
Goofball.
goofy goober.
a little silliness in the AM? Just having fun.
That's what we should have titled the show.
Silliness in the AM.
Yeah.
I'm sure the higher ups would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've decided to go with silliness in the AM.
3 hours of it.
Yeah. Just
3 full hours.
ridiculousness.
Yes, we do. Sorry.
Ridiculous.
God.
Whoa, Jamie's tired?
I am very tired.
What?
Whoa.
It's been a long weekend.
Whoa.
Well,
We
now
do have
things
to-
should slow down a little, right? Because we launched.
Hopefully. I'm just watching all these blizzard warnings for Boston going,
Might not have been the time to pick up a syndicated program.
oh my goodness.
What time is that?
2.
2. Okay,
So
so
it'd
we
be
can take care of it before.
3
Well,
o'clock their time.
They've got a plan, so I'm not
Oh, do
worried
they?
about. They have
Oh.
they have a plan.
Oh, I'm not worried at all.
They have
There's nothing to worry about that.
they
Nothing to
are
see here,
on it.
Parker.
Okay,
We've got it.
I don't care then.
No, they have a plan.
I don't care then.
If they have a plan, then I don't need to worry about
Not
it.
the ideal
What?
plan for launch day, but it's
Well,
okay.
no.
I understand. I mean,
What the
we're
hell are you
talking
gonna
about
do?
20 inches of snow by
Yeah.
7 p.m., you know?
Yeah, it's an act of God. This is
It
nothing.
is.
Yeah.
No.
This is not him going, I decided to go on vacation.
I don't want to do this today.
Forget it. All right, we got 15 seconds here.
Wisconsin. No, he would never say that. Rosie Greer was a football player. You uninformed person who needs to be informed. Sorry, Fred.
7:52
America!
right now. You're listening to Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. Obviously, we are very excited about the men's hockey team
So
taking
excited.
the gold. So excited. So obviously, that's what we're going to talk about here because it was a big morning for the U.S. at the Olympics as the games actually wrapped up yesterday, too.
Games
So-
wrapped up. The Cirque du Soleil type closing ceremony was aired last night. And
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, after the women's hockey team won the gold for the U.S., the men came back and they did the same thing. Historic, Frank. Frank jumped in because Frank, a casual hockey fan, doesn't really watch the games. The first question everybody asked this morning, Frank, did you get up and watch the game
I
yesterday?
did get up bright and early. I had my alarm set on a Sunday morning.
Wow.
Sacrilegious. But I did it for country.
For country.
I did it for
Patriotism.
country.
Didn't it
Patriot-
make you feel proud? I'm telling you, I felt proud of those guys. I felt proud of the accomplishments, just like I did when the women won. Watching them under the flag, singing the national anthem, I was like, yeah, we got a lot of problems here. But for a moment, those guys
Seeing
really
Jack
brought it
Hughes
home.
toothless standing out on the ice. I mean,
I
the dude,
loved it.
he literally left it all on the ice, right, including his teeth, which is
He was like
incredible.
Duncan Keith, Frank. He reminded me of Duncan
I had
Keith.
the same thought. Except he
Duncan
didn't run
Keith,
into
Jamie
a lot.
lost 7 teeth in a game and kept playing.
He didn't get shot up with Novocaine. I think Jack Hughes was back out for another shift within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, blood still on his face. I was like, this kid, and he's 24. This kid is tough.
I mean, they had, I want to say this with all due respect, and every hockey person that was watching that game knows what I'm about to say. They had absolutely no business winning that game. None.
On paper,
Frank,
I'll agree with you.
No, not even on paper. The second and third period, go back and watch them. I mean, Nathan McKinnon, who was an MVP, arguably second best player in the league, missed a wide open net.
Yeah.
I posted it to my Instagram story yesterday because he was really sour. He said, "What team do you think was the better team today?" I don't know, man. You missed a wide open net.
Was that the one that hit both posts? Which
No,
that was
that
the
was
double.
another
The double poster was. That's
That
not
was brutal.
That was brutal.
No, Connor Hellebuck, the goalie for the U.S., was outstanding. I mean, if there was an MVP for the game, it was him far and away. John Cooper, the head coach for Team Canada, came out and was upset and wasn't happy with the 3-on-3 overtime. Meanwhile, your 3-on-3 starting line was Nathan McKinnon, the second best player in the league, Cale Makar, the best defenseman in the league, and Connor McDavid, whose nickname is Connor McJesus, the best player.
And again, they didn't spring these rules on you yesterday. No. You knew the Olympic rules. It's, if you're Canada, of course you're upset by it. If you're the U.S., you're happy. It was an unbelievable breakaway, and then it became a 3-on-1, and then Jack Hughes drops it in, and boom, it was great after Brody's goal. Brody gave the goal in the first period, and then, Canada tied it early in the second against a shorthanded, right?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty interesting. I was thinking about this because obviously 46 years ago to the day was the Miracle on Ice against the Soviet team, and it was a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
This game wasn't a miracle because the U.S. has been tightening recently, that gap. It wasn't a bunch of college kids against grown men for the Soviets.
Right.
But that was probably the best hockey team ever assembled yesterday. I will say that. On paper, like Brian was mentioning, the U.S. really had no business winning that game. It wasn't a miracle like the Miracle on Ice, but it was pretty damn close if you're really looking at it from a hockey perspective.
Do you miss the days when it was? I mean, we were really the only country that had pure amateurs playing. But do you miss those days?
No.
You like the pros?
Not even a little bit. Brian, you watched the game yesterday.
Oh, it was
a faster pace
No.
game. I mean, the best in the world. It is a shame of the geopolitical climate right now that we couldn't have Russia field a team because I think they also would have been contenders for the gold. But this is what the Olympics are about. I know I poo-poo on it a little bit, and I don't watch it as closely as other people. But this is the whole point. We want the best on best competition throughout. And what I saw yesterday on the ice might have been, on paper, the best hockey game I've ever seen.
It was great. And I felt horrible having to cheer against Jonathan Taves, to be quite honest. But when his goal got stuffed, I was like, "Oh, USA, baby!" Sorry, Cap.
Devontae's. That was not Jonathan.
But
John's a little too old.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
wait,
you just blew his mind.
Wow.
I know.
I wasn't paying that close attention.
That's okay. I'm a sicko.
I am a casual fan.
You were rooting and cheering too hard. That's why you weren't paying attention. Yeah.
The only thing missing were Bloody Marys.
Chris, who texted last week saying I was a casual, did text me today saying USA.
That's right.
USA. So proud of this team. It was really exciting. The best part of this, if Gary Bettman, the commissioner for the NHL, allows players to play, since Sidney Crosby got hurt, I don't think NHLers will be in the next Olympics. They ruined that. But if they are, this is even going to get more intense. The sport of
Mhm.
hockey had a great day yesterday.
Yeah, it was great and for American hockey, it was terrific for young people. The Olympics ended with the United States in second place as far as medal count. Norway had the most medals with 41. The U.S. had 33 medals, including 12 gold. Then it was Italy with 30, Germany 26, Japan at 24, and France at 23. So good time. It's sad to see them go. I will not worry about hurling or bobsledding for another 4 years, but then I'll be back on the bandwagon because I am a casual Olympic fan.
Quick programming note, MDX listeners, you are heading to Stephanie Miller, and listeners in our other Wisconsin markets are going to stay right here with Daybreak on the Civic Media Network. It is 7:59.
All right.
And Dave in New Berlin, I think he's watching on the stream because he heard me say that I knew. But yes, I do know Rosie Greer was a football player. But thank you for watching and listening and commenting. And listen, and I am not above a correction if a correction is deserved. But trust me when I tell you this, I did know that Rosie Greer was a football player.
I'm going to go stretch for a second.
That I knew.
So funny in this football, Brian. He was a football player. It's like you were being scolded.
I know, and I knew. I picked the Rosie Greer name because I know who he is, and it was a funny name, and I just went with it.
Brian, Dave isn't mad. He's just disappointed.
Just disappointed.
I don't want to disappoint Dave or any of our listeners or viewers. I don't. That's not my goal. My goal is to infuriate you, not disappoint you. That's not my goal either. But it's a better goal than, takes more work to infuriate than to disappoint.
It does.
I loved the comments about you judge who's the better team, because I saw so many people being like, well, there's a lot of sports in these Winter Olympics that you can be on skates on ice and have judges pick who is best. So
it's so
pick a
true.
different
Look
sport.
at figure skating. I don't understand how the scoring goes.
I don't understand that at all.
No, it's
Hey.
and the like a race you get, okay,
Yeah.
they've got timers, you beat them by 100th of a second, which
Yeah, it's
seems
objective.
impossible. Okay. But yeah, what's the degree of difficulty? Did they go over that? How much did they go over it? Was it a point more? Was it 3 points more?
And I saw some stuff too with apparently there's a French judge for figure skating who wasn't being impartial and was like messing up results. I'm like, geez, this is why I do regular scoring.
Dave and I are going to be friends, I think, because Dave is texted in that Dave didn't know who Rosie Greer was and Googled the name. He had heard it before, but I hopefully my goal is to not make references that I don't know, at least to back up. So yes, that was a conscious thing. But Dave, thanks for being the bigger man and admitting that you Googled it.
Don't we
Not
all?
that I thought you were a
No.
lesser man.
I Google so much.
Who's yelling? Me?
Well, every morning.
What do you mean? Listen.
I Google
how
most
I talk.
things.
Yeah, I Google why am I putting up with your guys' trash? That's what
That's a fair
Who,
question.
the two of us?
yeah, you too.
'Cause you don't
The
have a
cow.
choice.
The constant onslaught.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
It's the cards you were dealt, Brian.
I know, but I'm folding this hand before the third hour. We're going into like bonus radio now, just like overtime.
That's true.
Bonus.
Free radio.
Also, I love that we started a pop culture segment today, and it may have been the slowest pop culture weekend known to man.
It was a fun segment though, and it was
It
good.
was.
And your teases were really good to make me go, "Oh, I got to find out who this is. I got to know."
I'm trying to think. What was the one you swiped on? Oh, the Prince Andrew story.
Yeah.
So this is a little bonus. I know it was swiped on, but the sibling that's defending Prince Andrew is not one of his own, but actually Ghislaine Maxwell's brother is coming to his defense.
Is that a celebrity?
I didn't say he was a
No,
celebrity.
he didn't say. He just said
Said
sibling.
a sibling
A sibling. I'm
is
sorry.
coming
Yes.
to the defense. I didn't say his sibling.
You're right.
Aha.
You're right.
Just who you want in your corner. Ghislaine Maxwell's brother.
Do
Yes.
Do we have Abigail joining?
Abigail is not today. She is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
She's tomorrow?
Oh.
It should be on the calendar.
Oh.
Did I look at the calendar wrong?
Did I think I must have looked at the
Oh,
calendar
I did too.
wrong.
Okay. So should we go back to tariffs?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. And let's do a reset on the new network.
Yep.
And explain why,
Well, we're all prepped for Abigail for tomorrow because we
I'm
both looked at it wrong.
what I'm going to do is I have my Google Doc with questions. I'll move over the stuff for today to tomorrow. And that'll be fun.
That's on me. I
No,
looked at it wrong.
I did too, because it's okay. Listen,
Perfect.
we got something.
Hey, the
in for
tariff
tomorrow.
stuff is a big deal, so we'll
It
talk
is a
more
big
tariffs.
deal. And did we get all the? Did we play all the audio? We could probably.
We did, but we could play it again.
Did we play the?
Yeah, we played all three, but
Yeah,
we could
did
do
all
it
three of
again.
those, Yes.
It
was 2
And
hours
she's in 3A tomorrow. That's correct. That time is right.
Yes. We could also talk a little bit about this weather too that's happening on the East Coast.
Probably a good idea.
And then go into pivot into tariffs. We could also talk about the Mexican drug lord and the chaos that has ensued and U.S. tourists under shelter in place. And then hit those as kind of like the big things happening today and then head into tariffs.
John Barron said on C-SPAN that it was the worst worst decision ever in your life, practically.
We have 15 seconds to work.
Which was the worst decision?
Tariffs. Strike
tariffs.
down.
Yeah. Well, if John Barron says it, then come on.
It's 8:06 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. If you're listening in Wausau on WXCO or in Richland Center on WRCE or in Wisconsin Rapids this morning on WFHR, thank you so much for joining us. I am Jamie Martinson.
And I'm Brian Noonan. And Jamie, people may be wondering, hey, wait, that's a new name. And in a lot of places, they're thinking, why are you guys still here? Aren't you supposed to leave at 8 o'clock?
Aren't you supposed to go away by now?
Yeah, why are you bothering us? Well, it's because there's been some changes here at Civic Media, and there's been some changes on the Talk Network, and in our opinion, great changes.
They are great changes.
You decide. They are great changes. What are those changes, Jamie?
Well, Daybreak with you and I will now be from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Unless, of course, you listen on WMDX in Madison. Those folks are now hearing Stephanie Miller. And then as soon as we get off the air, Stephanie Miller will be heard across the state until 11 a.m. Tom Hartman will then will take you through your mid-morning into your early afternoon from 11 until 2. We have a brand new show debuting today. It is called the Jeff Santos Show. That will be from 2 to 5 here on the Civic Media Network. And then from 5 to 7 p.m., more great local shows with Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. That is going to be a dual hosted show now. And they're going to actually join us at the end of this hour to talk a little bit about what you can expect from 5 to 7 p.m. But a really great lineup, basically covering all the news of the day. Little fun mixed in, little Wisconsin mixed in there as well. So it's going to be a great lineup. And, if you can't listen on your local radio station, you can always go get that app as well. It's
Where would
free
they
to
find
download.
an app?
Free to download in the Google Store or the Apple Store. And you can listen to some really great programming from all across the state. Sometimes if you need a little break from the politics of it all, we have some great music stations across the state, too.
I'll be honest.
Format.
I waited until the show became official, and then the other day I downloaded the app. So now I have the app. I wasn't going to waste space on the phone in case things went south, but thankfully they did not. And now, yes, use the app. And then you can tell your friends to stream us if you want to watch us in the morning, because God knows we look fantastic in the early morning
We
hours.
do. I've got some really dark, weird light happening across the studio right now. I'm not sitting in the dark, but I look like I'm sitting in the dark.
From here it looks nice.
Does
There's a weird period between 7:30 and 8 where you
when
get
the
a
sun
real
is
big
starting to-
shadows, but
where
now
the
it's just nice accenting
Okay,
behind
it's where
you.
the
Yeah,
sun
you look
starts to
good.
come up, and then our big windows here in the studio are facing other people's big windows where the sun reflects off of them right into the studio. So I get this weird period when the sun is actually coming up, but it's good, and I'd rather see the sunshine than not. So the blinds will always stay up.
So
It's very
again,
blinding, though.
It is.
Enjoy the new lineup. We hope you enjoy our extended show. Tell people about us. Tell people about everything that's happening here on Civic Media, where we're trying to lead with the facts. And yes, you'll get our opinions, but they will all be based in the facts. And we try to tell you the truth so that then it's up to you, whatever you want to do with it. But at least we know we're not spreading disinformation. We're
That's
just
right. And
trying to give you the facts, Jack.
Here's the beautiful part about it. If we don't get something right and you catch us, we will be happy to tell you that we made a mistake, look into it, and then give the right information, because we are not above doing that either, because we want everybody to be well informed.
But we're also not above calling you
citizens.
out if you try to correct
That's
us
right.
and you're wrong.
That's
so
right. We'll tell you
correct
that
us at
too.
your correct.
At
Come
peril.
loaded. That's all I'm saying. Come
That's right.
correct with your
That's right.
corrections, and we will do it.
I've done some research usually. So
Yeah, me, you could fool all day. Because really, at the end of the day, I'm skimming. But Jamie goes deep. She knows what's happening. And if you ever want to get involved in the program, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842, which is what Dave did in New Berlin. He said the weather on the East Coast is likely to delay air travel coast to coast.
Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about this bomb cyclone that is hitting the Northeast right now. And
this is a scary term, right? Like bomb cyclone.
2 feet, over 2 feet has fallen in at least 5 states already.
With
this
hurricane
morning.
force wind gusts as well. Over 40 million people now under blizzard warnings in the Northeast. Snow piling up, as you mentioned, to over 2 feet, with a foot reported in at least 5 different states. The biggest snowstorm in years for New York City and Philadelphia. Some of that heavy snow started pushing deeper into New England earlier this morning. There's treacherous conditions which have paused public transit. It's forced travel bans and prompted warnings to stay off roads. More than 10,000 flights have already been canceled as of today. Now, there is a state of emergency in New York City, which is actually pretty rare. A citywide travel ban is in effect until noon today, and the city canceled school today, its first proper snow day since 2019.
Wow.
Which is insane, right? So you know that they don't have to do this very often. So obviously keeping an eye on what's happening on the East Coast. You can imagine that with those type of flight delays, if you are traveling anywhere, you might want to check your own travel plans, just because of if LaGuardia and JFK are down, that pretty much means that travel across the country could have some issues today.
And obviously Logan Airport is down. About 1,600 flights canceled out of there. And between those airports, they account for about 87% of all the cancellations.
Yeah.
So it is going to affect everything. And even if you don't, you're like, well, I'm just flying from Milwaukee to Kansas City. That shouldn't be. No, it's probably, there's a good chance your plane was probably supposed to come from somewhere else. So just check. And if you see any of the video, I was moaning Saturday night into yesterday, we got a little dusting, and I was like, oh, it's snowing again. Now I look at those videos. 2 feet of snow is, how do you even where do you put it? I wouldn't know where to put 2 feet of snow.
Especially in cities like New York, right? If you've ever traveled, you know there's not a lot of square footage to be had and open space to be had, and now you're dealing with piles and piles of snow. So
you know what I like to see there that I don't see here? They have, as they're trying to clear the snow, they have giant heated trucks, and it's like dumping the snow into a hot tub, and and then the water just goes right down the drain. They're just dumping it, melting it, because there's nowhere to pile it. Like you said, they put their garbage out in the front. There's no alleys in New York, in Manhattan. No. You have nowhere to put anything. No. So they're melting it as they go, which in the Northeast is very common. Here it's not.
No. I kind of wish it was. That would eliminate, I think, a lot of travel issues, even around our Wisconsin. We're hardier, though, right? Like, we're used to this stuff. That's what people tell me anyway.
I think they like to say that, but if you look at Buffalo, Boston, that area, they get snow that we're nah, come on.
No.
They
we're
win.
wimpy.
They win that. If win is the word, but those melting trucks would get rid of all the, when you go to the grocery store and the piles are, and you can't see around and people are whipping around it like they're on some alpine luge track, tying back into the Olympics. So it's, I want to see some of those, but man, we'll keep an eye on that, but it is thankfully, and we're getting a lot of, up in the UP, they're getting a lot of snow too, up on the northern shores.
They are. There's several inches falling in that vicinity as well. Nothing like what they're going to see on the East Coast, but all part of that system as it trails across the upper part of the country down from Canada. So obviously they're on the tail end of it compared to what the Northeast is getting. In some other big news that's happening across, I would say, not across the United States, but affecting U.S. tourists especially. Yes. This broke yesterday afternoon. Mexico's most wanted cartel boss was actually killed in a Mexican military operation. The U.S. provided intelligence report for that operation, according to the White House. Now, this killing has sparked some widespread unrest throughout much of Mexico. Suspected gang members torched buses and businesses. They clashed with security forces. More than 250 blockades were reported across 20 Mexican states, according to Mexican security cabinet. Most of those roadblocks as of this morning have been cleared. Now, the U.S. State Department urged American nationals in parts of Mexico to seek shelter and remain in residences or hotels. Other tourists just there for, their midwinter vacation have been stranded after several U.S. carriers suspended flights to Puerto Vallarta. So obviously something that we're keeping an eye on as well.
Yes.
Mexico's President Sheinbaum actually spoke this morning at a daily press conference with the unrest happening throughout her country. So
and this was the Jalisco New Generation cartel, the most powerful, and it was El Mencho, not to be confused with El Chapo. They all have some sort of nickname, and it's the footage coming out of Mexico with not only the cars and buses being burned to create roadblocks, but burnings of retail establishments and all different kinds of things. Yeah. It's tough. I can't imagine, and there's always coverage of when there's a big storm of tourists being stranded there. Mm-hmm. That would be scary enough, but this kind of thing is even scarier because the cartels will do whatever they want. And and there have been stories in the past about cartels going into resorts and causing all kinds of havoc and killing people. And they don't take kindly to this, and they're definitely not going to take kindly now that the news is out that the U.S. helped with the intelligence to get this done. So another place to keep it, because we don't have enough problems right here. Now we got a problem. We got to keep an eye on Iran and Mexico and the nor'easter, and it's never ending.
And Sheinbaum, in her comments this morning, within just the last couple of minutes as we've been talking, some of those comments have been made public. It was her first press conference, and she said, quote, "Today there is already more calm, and there is government, there are armed forces, there is a security cabinet, and there is a lot of coordination." She went on in that speech this morning to reassure citizens that peace, security, and normalcy are being maintained throughout the country of Mexico. So,
really?
The photos don't really indicate that, but I guess she'd know more than I would at this stage of the game.
Would this be L gaslighting? Is that what is that what's happening now? I don't speak Spanish.
She might just be hoping. Here's the thing that I'll say about this: is she just hoping that the Trump administration doesn't use this as a way to bring people and U.S. It's been threatened by this cabinet.
Listen, we saw it in Venezuela. This is there's and the not funny thing, but the thing that would be unusual, ironic, thank you, is that we helped create this.
Yes.
By help, and listen, I think it's right that we would, if we have intelligence that would help Mexico get rid of this cartel boss, we should share it. But then we can't use that, or we shouldn't be able to use
Right.
that as an excuse to say, well, look, they can't control their own country. Maybe we go in.
Right.
I don't think that's the way to go.
It's not the way to go, but I think at the same time, if you are Claudia Scheinbaum, you are choosing your words carefully, especially with this administration and the threats that they've made against your government and the people in the past. I don't think you take any of this lightly. I think you try to assure that there is a calmness. I mean, I'm watching TV right now, seeing things in flames. I'm not sure that my take of what's happening is the same take that the government of Mexico is giving me right now.
Once I'm told to not leave my home,
I kind
safety
of
is
think there's
not
an
safety is
issue.
not being preserved.
I
If
see
it was
that
safe,
as a bit of an issue. Yeah.
I could be in Puerto Vallarta going to the beach.
Right.
That's safe.
Right.
Hunker down in your hotel and don't leave. That doesn't sound safe.
That doesn't seem safe to me, but I'm going to assume that words like most of our allies, I'll put that in air quotes with this particular administration, have to choose carefully as to how they show situations to being handled in their respective countries. Because, well, why not? Let's just send our troops everywhere. 8:19 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Jamie Martinson and Brian Noonan on the Civic Media Network.
All right.
Should have done a tease there, but I had my whole thing out
I was
of
ready.
mind,
I was
so
ready
I
to
didn't.
tease. And
I'm sorry.
You were rolling.
I could
That's
see
all
it,
right.
Brian. I could see it in your eyes.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Always
I didn't.
ready to tease.
I apologize.
Don't apologize. They'll stick around. If they like it, they're going to stick around anyway. No worries. Hey, we're into the third hour. I don't feel fatigued yet. Is it going to hit after 8:30? After 8:30, I'm hitting the wall, just so you know.
Dave in New Berlin says bomb cyclone, I believe, is defined as the air pressure dropping 24 millibars or more over 24 hours. That's why the winds are so high. I believe that is fairly accurate.
Yeah, you should know. Or somebody in your sphere should know.
That would be more of a Corey question, but
All right. Get him on the horn. No, I'm kidding.
It's 8:20. He's probably up by now, right?
oh, he's got a meeting at 9. I'm sure he
there you
is.
What if he's not? I'm going to roll out at 8:58.
Let's see. A rapidly intensifying cyclone with a large air mass that rotates around a low-pressure area or eye of the storm. It's essentially a hurricane on land,
Yeah.
is essentially what it is.
That doesn't sound worrying at all.
I mean, that's why they're called a cyclone, because it's essentially a
Sure.
hurricane.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't last very long.
Oh, I suppose, yeah. I don't know why I just put up the commercial graphic. We're going to be out of the commercial in like 20 seconds.
That's okay.
So,
Well, the message is
Bombogenesis. That's a neat word.
They were a
Bombogenesis.
great band in the 80s.
we got 10 seconds till we're back.
Well, now I want to know more about that. It's 8:22 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We always appreciate it. For anybody who's sticking with us during this third hour today.
Yes, it's the first day of the extended show. We said goodbye to the folks in Madison on WMDX, but everybody else on the network, we're glad you're still here. And once we're done at 9 o'clock, Stephanie Miller will pick up where you are. So if you're like, where's Stephanie? She's coming. Hang on. Hold your water. We're gonna send it to you, and then check out all the other Tom Hartman and what's the new show? Jeff Santos is our new
Jeff
show
Santos
today.
show. Yeah, Jeff Santos show should be interesting because in the middle of this bomb cyclone, Jeff Santos actually brings his show to you from the Boston area.
Yes.
So
we'll
hopefully
see.
all the best to them. All the best
Yes.
to them as they navigate this winter weather in on the north or on the East Coast, I should say.
All right, and then Pete Schwab and Greg Bach will host Nightlight from 5 to 7. We'll talk to those guys later on in the hour. And if flights and air travel were not going to be affected enough by the storm today and for the next few days, I would imagine, TSA is also going to cause a little trouble because, we're still in a partial government shutdown. Because we could not agree, and by we, I mean our fine, illustrious Congress, could not agree on how or if or maybe not to fund DHS. So TSA is affected. And if you were listening, Jamie, over the weekend, first it was going to be, everything's closing down. Priority boarding, or not priority boarding, global entry is going to shut down. We might have pre-check, that's going to shut down. Then they came back and said, all right, no, everything's going to be fine. Then they came back and said, no, that's not true. We'll keep pre-check going, but global entry, not going to happen. So once again, boy, hand it to Christy Nome. She runs a tight ship over there.
She really does. She's got it all buttoned up. We know exactly what's happening all the time. So when it comes to the pre-check, yes, if you have the pre-check at TSA, that is still you can still use your clearance that you've already gotten. You can still get through line quickly. However, global entry is now officially shut down for the duration of this funding lapse, which means, and don't hold your breath on this because I think they're out the remainder of this week. Mike Johnson has still not gavelled them back in. They'll be in Washington tomorrow night for the State of the Union, where the president will take the podium at 8 p.m. our time, but I don't believe any work is happening in Washington this week.
Did Robin Voss get a hold of
yes,
Mike McCarthy and go, hey, man, we're doing 9 months. You can take a 9-month
They're having coffee
vacation
right now because neither of them are working.
Nobody's working.
So what that means with global entry is that international travelers returning to the U.S. should expect longer lines at customs and passport control, which is going to be great for those tourists finally able to get out of Mexico, too.
Yes, or the people coming back from the Olympics.
Right. Yep, that'll be easy peasy. So the shutdown, of course, stems from that standoff in Congress over the immigration enforcement policy. TSA officers deemed essential are still working. They are working, though, without pay. So take it easy on your TSA officers because their job is hard enough as it is. TSA PreCheck serves more than 20 million members and allows expedited security screening for a fee of roughly $77 to $85 for 5 years. Global entry costs about $120 for 5 years. It has more than 12 million members and speeds up customs processing. Altogether, more than 40 million travelers use DHS Trusted Traveler programs. And obviously, we mentioned the timing because between the bomb cyclone that is closing flights out of LaGuardia, JFK, Boston Logan, well, this is just adding to the stress of flying over the next few days. And I'm fine once I get in an airplane. It's the whole act of going through lines, security. I hate it. It is not fun. I don't enjoy my time.
No, you have to be a psycho if you enjoy that part of it. I love to travel once I get off the plane.
Yes.
That's what I love to try. And when I get off the plane at home, I'm like, oh, I'm home. The rest of it is a constant nightmare. We did get pre-check, and it does make things a lot easier. Just for fun. But the timing also seems odd because remember 2 weeks ago, which is now more than 2 weeks when they didn't fund DHS because of ICE, they said this will not impact air travel at all.
Right.
Well, now that nobody has given in on their funding fight, suddenly we're going to impact travelers. And we're going to impact travelers who travel internationally. So probably a little more money, a little more experience, maybe a few more connections. And suddenly those people are going to be very, very angry. And then we can default to our old, it's the Democratic shutdown, and let's blame the Democrats. And it's just one more thing before the midterms that is going to be hung on the Democrats' neck, even though it's not a Democrat issue.
No, and let's be clear. DHS funding is stalled because Congress can't agree, and then Mike Johnson recessed for 2 weeks, and so no negotiations have been happening.
Right.
I mean, get them back to D.C., and if you actually want this to end and you want life to be easier for travelers, then you would actually be in D.C. and you would do a damn job. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right?
That is true. But, Jamie, based on track records, how much does making Americans' lives easier or better come into play?
It does not for this administration, but but it's easier for them to sit at home, go on their cable news, and then point fingers at Democrats. It's really hard, though, as it turns out, to sit in a room and hammer out a deal because that's what you're supposed to do as a leader of the country. But I get it. Those things are hard, so it's easier to, just go blame the Democrats on whatever show will basically put you on that given Sunday.
It's infuriating, though completely expected. There is no responsibility ever taken by this administration. It doesn't matter what the issue. You blame somebody else. Blame somebody. It's their fault. It's their fault. I inherited horrible this. I inherited horrible that. Why should I ever have to be responsible? I'm not to blame. Everybody else hurts me. They're all after me.
It's all everybody else's fault.
Let's do a little. Let's look at the Constitution, Jamie, shall we? Let's do that, especially the Bill of Rights. So we're going to focus on the Bill of Rights after this break. I'm going to say it this time, Jamie.
Okay.
This is Daybreak. Yeah, on the Civic Media Network. I was just letting the new name sink in.
I'm glad you let it sink in.
I let it simmer there.
I hadn't gotten it yet.
We're sorry, Ron. We're sorry, Ron from Janesville.
Oh no, what's the matter with Ron? What happened?
He misses John and Gordy.
Well, I understand that.
I do too.
And so I understand that, Ron, but times change. We hope you'll give us a chance, and we hope you'll come to enjoy us. Maybe not as much as you did John and Gordy, but close. And you go, all right, these two aren't so bad. They're pretty solid and better than expected.
Fairly solid.
Fairly solid. They're fairly solid and better than expected. That's an inside joke, Ron, but it's still true. Still true. No, there were times. Over all my years listening to radio, there were programs that I really loved that ceased to be, and I was upset for a while. But then it's either stop listening to radio, which is not an option, or hopefully find something new.
What I love is when people text in to WMDX during Stephanie Miller, it says that we don't accept text messages.
Everybody's blocked. We have blocked. Listen, anybody in Madison, sorry.
The Stephanie Miller show does not take outside text messages. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They just text each other during the show?
I don't know what they do.
Producers, the only text I'll take is from Parker. That's nobody else. This is the weirdness of radio.
I don't really understand what happens over there.
Yeah, it's a national show. You'd think they'd want texts from everywhere.
It is. Maybe you have to. Oh, look, we just got drafts in. Look at this. We have a new show chat. It's been renamed. We have drafts in.
Hold on.
Now we're talking.
Now we're official.
Holy cow.
As I ingest our promos for the show.
All right.
Dave says, mental note to self, don't get on Jamie's blank sheet. You can. I'm just going to come with facts.
I don't want to. I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that, Dave. It's going to be harder for me than you, but if I can do it, you can do it.
I am all about studying about what a bombogenesis is right now.
Bombogenesis.
Should we have been playing? It's too late now. Should we have been playing that new intro at the beginning of each hour today and maybe tomorrow?
That crossed my mind after I did it.
Frank, This would require
Yeah,
you.
It crossed my mind at 8:30, so you're ahead of me, Parker. I'm like, that probably would have been a good thing. It's first day and all.
It is. It seems to fluctuate show to show. I don't really know.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe we have the longer one for 6 and a shorter one for
Like a
7 and 8.
So
yeah.
what I'm assuming Frank is about to say, we have rejoiners.
All of that after the show.
Yes.
Oh no, I want to do it right during the show. Next segment, we're going to do it for 14 minutes.
Do you want to have this conversation right now? Do you really want to have this conversation?
Short.
Do you want a public file of this on the internet forever?
He got up early to watch hockey.
And
Then
he's
he
never
got
recovered.
the pieces late, and then Mrs. Frank tried to move in the
Right.
room.
Well, here's the thing there's no problem with the piece. That's why I was like, we should probably run it more than once.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I sent the
very
draft to Jamie last night, and I said, thoughts? She said, fantastic. I said, good, because this is as good as it's going to get tonight. I just got it, and yeah. But I was fairly confident. I thought it was fairly solid.
You were fairly solid.
Better than I expected.
Parker did say it was better than he expected.
Yeah.
Wow.
There we go.
He really did.
Okay. Wow, what a backhanded slam.
He's on
Parker-
one today.
Yeah, Parker's, I don't know, man.
He's just so giddy. Like he doesn't have to do best ofs anymore.
Yeah.
That is it.
We need somebody a little more subservient.
We got 15
I don't like this
seconds to our
independent
back.
thinking amongst the team.
We hope your Monday is off to a great start. It is 8:35 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network.
Good morning. If you want to get involved, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. Tell people we're also streaming. You listen on the app, the Civic Media app. Play some more music. You can listen to music stations on the app. Thank you for that reminder, Parker. That was great.
Oh, of course. Anytime, anytime. Just wanna go,
Seamless. So we're on the app. Music's on the app. The app is on the app. You know how to work the app. So we're on YouTube streaming. So if you ever want to, if you're like, these two sound interesting, I wonder what they look like. Go to YouTube. Go to Facebook.
You can
check
watch.
it out.
You can
That's
watch.
fantastic.
And we apparently don't know how to run the app based on what's happening. Just watching Parker's face. I'm not sure
I was
if we know
going
how
to
to run
say,
the
don't.
app.
Let's not say we,
no.
Jamie.
No.
Let's put a laser point
That's
on
right.
this.
That's
we
right.
got
It's
one
an easy
guy.
to use app, guys. Come on, it's easy to use. It's free. Why wouldn't you want it? Get it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there
look
you
at
go.
it. Put it up there too on the stream. Oh boy, this is going to be fun because it's
I
going to
love
be a
having a good
little
constitutional
schoolhouse rock.
conversation.
Yes, and Jamie, you will get to inform people on a couple of
Mm-hmm.
amendments because remember, it seems like years ago there was a horrible military occupation in Minneapolis. It's probably still going on. But now that things have settled down a little, the news cycle moves on. We don't forget you, Minneapolis. We still applaud the people with their peaceful protests and all that.
Right.
But the problem now, the thing now is Operation Metro has sparked legal fights. Good. Invoking at least 6 of the first 10 amendments to the Bill of Rights. Now, I'm not a math major, but that would seem to be the majority of the amendments in the Bill of Rights. 4,000 arrests in November. That has become really the sticking point. And the first one is, let's start at number 4. The Fourth Amendment is the one that seems to be getting the most traction, Jamie.
Yeah, and the Fourth Amendment essentially protects against unreasonable searches and seizures, which is the major focus. ICE agents have been using administrative warrants issued by the executive branch to enter homes rather than warrants signed by a judge. So some federal judges have ruled that those do not meet constitutional standards. And right, I mean, that is the Fourth Amendment. There really is nothing else you can say about that. That is the Fourth Amendment. So, yeah. And obviously there will be legal ramifications for everything we're talking about going forward over the next few weeks, months, and with this administration, who knows years? Yes, absolutely. So the second one that's getting a little attention right now is the Fifth Amendment, which guarantees due process. This is also an issue. Judges in Minnesota and even Texas have accused the administration of stretching or ignoring due process protections for immigrants. Minnesota officials tried to use the 10th Amendment as well, which protects states' rights to block parts of this federal crackdown. A federal judge did reject that particular request. So, I mean, we're just hitting all of the high notes with the Bill of Rights in all of these over the next.
Even the third, which was where most people you don't really know the Third Amendment. It deals with the government taking over private property, and so they're including that in some cases where it's like, well, listen,
And this goes back to the fact that Minneapolis hotels canceled room reservations for ICE agents once they figured out why they were there, what their actual duties were, and what they were doing within the city. So even the Third Amendment, which is usually used during wartime, that's usually what the Third Amendment is.
You can't just take over somebody's house to put soldiers in it. But this is going to be an interesting argument. Is a hotel, it is a privately owned business.
Right.
Is it a private residence? Or is it a public residence run by a private company? That's going to be that part will be interesting to watch. The others are all interesting too, but that's going to be an interesting one.
That's going to be the one that's going to be a big question in the courts about the hotels and the use and what they actually are. So I think that one will be fascinating. I mean, Minneapolis even comes down to the First and Second Amendments, right? You had the First Amendment after journalist Don Lemon was arrested while live streaming a protest inside that church. Now, Lemon says he was exercising freedom of the press. Prosecutors argue the protest interfered with religious freedom. I think this is also going to come down to the argument, is Don Lemon a journalist or is he a private blogger? Because there are also groups making that because he doesn't work for an entity now.
Right, but
he's his own person.
In this day and age, the old paradigm is gone. A lot of journalists are their own news organization, disseminating information. You can argue the credibility of that. You can argue if they're true journalists. Don Lemon comes from a journalism background. Don Lemon is an independent journalist.
Yes.
So we can't. This is one of those issues that you can't judge by old standards.
Right.
You have to look at the current climate and the current broadcast model that we have, and you'll make a different thing. Now let us not forget the always invoked Second Amendment.
Right.
That is on the table too, and that is where, if you recall, again, it seems like forever ago, the gun lobbies, the NRA, gun owners were really a little bit upset about how the administration is suddenly, after being so pro Second Amendment, is pulling back once somebody actually legally carried a firearm and then was murdered by ICE.
Right, because
after not drawing his firearm.
Right, because some administration officials are suggesting that gun rights don't apply during confrontations with law enforcement, even though Alex Preddy, at the time he was murdered by the ICE agents on the streets of Minneapolis, just in case you forget because this news cycle is insane, he had a legal conceal and carry. I mean, he could
that was
legally
holstered.
Yes, that was holstered that he never drew. So there's going to be several arguments in court about this and how this is going to play out. Now, supporters of the administration say that it is lawfully enforcing immigration policy and that lower courts are just overreaching right now. Critics argue the crackdown represents a broad test and a possible violation of constitutional protections. Then you get the legal scholars involved, and they say it's highly unusual for one set of government actions to trigger challenges involving so many core constitutional rights at the same time. Then that should tell you that this administration does not care about our constitutional rights and that it is simply optional to them they're only interested in talking about when it's convenient for them.
Sure.
I mean, that's when they're interested. We've seen how journalists have been treated, not just in Minneapolis, Don Lemon, but in other places too, where press coverage is met with not with protection, but with pushback. It raises serious First Amendment concerns. We talked about Alex Preddy and the Second Amendment. But here's what I think gets interesting in this argument is we keep hearing that undocumented immigrants don't have rights, Brian, right? This administration likes to talk about the lack of rights that undocumented immigrants have.
Yes, and again, it's not hard to, just Google that. See if that's true. Just,
Right. Well, I did. So
I figured you did.
So
why did I know? Listen, we all should know this. But if you don't know it, Jamie will explain it.
We're going to talk about this
Yes.
because this administration likes to tell us that constitutional protections don't apply to immigrants. And that's just simply not true. It's not true. The Constitution doesn't protect only citizens in many places. It protects all persons, which means even people without legal status in this country are entitled to due process, the rights under the 5th and 14th Amendments. I know we're getting a little outside the Bill of Rights,
we
but
cracked
it's important.
went past the top 10 on that.
That's right. But rights under the 5th and 14th Amendments to a fair hearing rather than summary actions. Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures, the right to remain silent, the right to legal counsel in criminal proceedings, protection from discrimination, and access to the courts. I mean, these aren't political talking points. Those are constitutional laws that we have to protect all persons, not just citizens in this country.
I think what the administration and a lot of people count on is the fact that a lot of us don't pay attention to that kind of thing. We took the Constitution test in 7th grade. We know basically, okay, we know the Second Amendment, and everybody misquotes the First Amendment anyway. The Fifth, we know from courtroom dramas where I don't have to incriminate myself, but there's more to the Fifth. So we don't know. And they figure if you bang on something enough, even if it's a lie, and you keep hammering it, soon it becomes the truth, and I put that in quotes. It becomes the truth that somebody wants you to believe, and enough people will not do the research and do not listen to us that they are missing out. And it's not willful ignorance. It's just you forget. Not everybody carries a copy of the Constitution in their pocket. Not everybody is a constitutional scholar. But at times like this, when you hear so many different messages coming at you, and one is so diametrically opposed to all the others, when one piece of information is telling you, no, these rights don't apply, but other sources that you used to trust are all saying, yes, these rights do apply to everybody who's on our soil. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Take a look yourself.
And here's the thing. This doesn't mean that immigration laws shouldn't be enforced. I mean, that's not what we're saying at all. But enforcement still has to follow the Constitution.
Yes.
That's the point, right?
And it goes to anybody. It goes even if you're visiting, if you're from a country that, the administration thinks their citizens don't belong here, or we have a lot of undocumented immigrants from that country, you could be visiting. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. A right is a right. A right isn't something that you can just enforce or be granted day to day. The rights are there. We've got it written down. We've been following it for 249 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody's got to stand up and go, no, that's wrong.
Here's the thing that I think concerns me the most. If constitutional protections can be brushed aside as easily as they have been by this administration for certain groups of people, history has shown us that it never stops there. Right. Now, the courts are pushing back in some cases, but if the only check on executive power is the judiciary, and even court orders are being slow-walked or completely ignored by this administration, then we really have a separation of powers problem. And if you are an observer of what's happening in this country, you know that is true.
Yeah.
Congress exists for a reason. Oversight also exists for a reason, and the Constitution is there for a reason. It shouldn't take some constitutional law scholar in Minneapolis to remind the federal government that this is the constitutional law of the land. And it should also not take all of us begging for our Congress to reconvene in Washington, D.C. to do their jobs and hold this particular administration accountable. We should not have to beg for that to happen.
Yes, we shouldn't, but we do. Thankfully, the Supreme Court, and we go back to the tariff thing, they showed a little glimmer of backbone this weekend by saying this is not constitutionally allowed. There are processes. Those processes include congressional approval. So now we just need the Congress to man up, quit just man and woman up. I don't know a better term, a more politically correct term than man up. I know, but we have less thans running the thing, and we've got people who are afraid. They're afraid of a man who doesn't know what he's doing, surrounded by a cabinet that for the most part does not know what they're doing, and we're allowing that man to make unilateral decisions about this country without, we have the system in place. Use it. Stop being so afraid. The Republicans in Congress need to stop being afraid, because someday he will be gone.
Right.
But the government and the country should not be gone.
Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yeah.
It's 8:48 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. We have Pete Schwab and Greg Bach.
Yeah,
right?
New show at 5 o'clock, but we'll talk to them next.
Good comment.
So Greg used to be the co-host of Matt and Air on Air, right?
Then he was
Correct.
Civic Media mid-mornings there in the interim, and now he's joining Pete on Nightlight. Rita and Lacrosse, impeach, convict, remove, listening on LCX.
While I agree with that sentiment, there's only one thing standing in everybody's way.
Like Mike
Congress.
Johnson?
Yeah. Mike Johnson and the other lackeys.
I just love that Mitch McConnell now has a backbone since he's like retiring and passing out at the podium every day.
I was going to say he should use that backbone to stay upright. Perhaps he gets that backbone checked, because obviously it's got some defect.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. There we go.
So hopefully Pete and Greg join.
Oops. Well, if not, we're going to trash them for 7 minutes.
We are.
I'll let you sit
hero.
this one out, Jamie, as the boss. I'll take the heat on this one. Thank you, Sage, for getting, if you're still listening on the stream, getting all the texts and calls showing up on our new chat. If you're listening, or if you're on the stream, sorry, I don't mean to leave you out, but you don't get to be on that chat.
Oh, I've got like a new administration thing that I can play
Do you?
with. Ooh!
Oh boy.
There's 7 members. Who are the 7 members? There's only 4 of us on the show. I know it's the suits.
Engineers.
That's exciting.
Let's see. Oh, Dominic's still on it. Who's Dominic?
He's the alternate.
I'm kidding. Sage, Aaron, and us. And Dominic, the donkey.
He hates that song.
He
I know
does. He really does.
I would too if I were him.
I would too.
I would really hate it.
Okay, well, I'm going to have something.
Let me message Greg really quick.
Yeah, boys. Jamie, you're their boss. What's going on?
Got nothing.
Type. Oh, good. Turn off caps lock.
2 comedians. You can't count on comedians to do anything.
Here's Greg. Greg's coming.
All right.
Hi, Greg. How are you? Uh-oh.
Do you know Mr. Clean is retiring
second.
while we work on Greg?
No.
Wow.
He wants to let himself go? He wants to be
We have
Mr.
a-
Dirty?
We have a D block for tomorrow.
A what?
All right. We have 10 seconds till we're back here.
All right. Well, we're going to, we'll just. Boy, Schwab is in trouble. I'm going to text him too. Blowing us off.
It's 8:52 right now. You are listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, and if you ever want to get involved in the program, 855-75-CIVIC, 855-752-4842. The texts are up, the phone is up, the new lineup is up. Today is a big day at Civic Media as we unveil the new and improved Civic Media Network lineup. We're in the mornings. That's right there. Some people very happy about it. Some questioning the decisions. But then it goes in. Stephanie Miller is on, and then it's Tom Wopat. No, he was on the Dukes of Hazzard.
Tom Hartman.
Tom Hartman. Tom Hartman. Then we've got a new show, Jamie. Maybe or maybe not. They're snowed in Boston. Who is our new
Jeff
show?
Santo show
Jeff
will be on the
Santo
network
show.
from 2 to 5. And then that brings us to our 5 to 7
5
p.m. slot.
o'clock.
That's right. Drive time.
Two familiar voices taking over a familiar show title. Greg Bach, you heard him as the co-host of Matt and Air on the Air. Then he's been co-hosting Civic Media Mid-Mornings. Greg is going to be joining Pete Schwaba on Nightlight from 5 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And Greg joins us now. Greg, welcome. Congratulations. Very exciting. Tell your co-host he's in deep doo-doo because he was supposed to be here with us too, but we are happy you are here. How is your schedule going to change now that you get to relax a little more during the day?
Well, I don't have to set an alarm, which is weird anymore.
That's nice.
Right.
I can
That's
just,
nice.
I can just, sleep in, but also getting up early for so many years now, sleeping in is like 7:15. So I've been up for a few hours. I'm like, what do I do now? So it's play with the dog, walk the dog, take care of the dog. But yeah, it'll be some getting used to for me. But I'm very, very excited to do this. I love Pete. I love Nightlight. I'm really looking forward to creating something really fun and exciting for the folks who listen to Civic Media from 5 to 7, Monday through Friday.
And what's awesome is, like Brian alluded to, you guys are familiar voices, and I know Nightlight has always been a little bit more in the entertainment vein. You've always done a little bit more politics during the mid-morning. So how are you guys planning on combining all of that for the listeners from 5 to 7?
Well, we're gonna take the points of both shows and really make something special. And we're gonna talk about the news. We'll talk about politics. We'll talk about things that are going on around the community, Wisconsin, around the country, and how it pertains to the listeners here on the network. But then we're gonna have fun too, and that's something that we always had on Matt and Air on Air, as well as Civic Media Mid Mornings. Anyone who listened to that show knew that it wasn't 2 hours of like hard driving politics into the blue denim truth of life. It was talking about the news, and then in the second hour we'd pull back a little bit, lighten things up, and by the last half hour we're having fun talking to people about what their favorite desserts are and why carrot cake is a ruse. But the point is we're gonna have a good time.
I just made a carrot cake this weekend, by the way, for my kid's birthday. It's his favorite, so we'll have to have that discussion off air. What was that?
Was it real? Is it a real cake?
Yes, it was a real cake. I made it.
I know you did. But if Greg is saying a carrot cake might be a ruse, maybe you actually made a chocolate cake and was gaslighting your son into thinking that it was a carrot cake.
I believe that nobody likes carrot cake. Everybody likes the frosting. That's it.
That's true. Who doesn't like cream cheese?
I like the frosting and the walnuts. So yes, I'm on board. Carrots are a vegetable. We digress. But that leads into what I wanted to ask you, because both you and Pete and also myself have a comedy background, and comics always want to get the last word. So like with Jamie and I, it's easier because Jamie has a rational, focused mind to offset my lunacy. You now have two really established, funny people who also have very deep thoughts. How is it going to meld? How do you think that's going to, and it'll be a fun evolution to listen to?
Well, I think for when it comes to things as far as the politics or the news, we're going to be looking at it from a comedian standpoint where we will talk about the stories themselves, but try to find where the humor may be, finding where the hypocrisy, whether it's finding stupidity, never diluting the message of what we're talking about, but also providing some humor. And I think we've seen for many years now how taking a sour pill of politics or news or whatever and wrapping that around funny can be a really helpful thing, help people get informed, but also have fun. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't have fun while you're learning. So I think that's something we're definitely going to do. While our wonderful producer, Dom, will be sitting here going, please wrap it up. Please, Dom. Not everything is as funny as you think it is. Just please shut up. We have to go to break.
Oh, no, we get that from Parker. Parker's giving us like this rap thing all the time. He's like, come on, just get to it.
But Greg, as you know, they don't know funny. They don't.
No, they don't know. They don't understand jokes.
No.
They don't understand. They don't understand it.
It's all about time. Time. Be on time.
Comedy. Age. Yeah, exactly.
What is comedy? I don't understand.
For one, it doesn't know time.
What is a laugh? I don't know laughing. I have no concept of this.
So I know that you and Pete have had a couple of these impromptu sessions, just getting comfortable with each other. But tonight is the inaugural Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. What can people expect on this first episode when they tune in tonight at 5:00?
Well,
Greg?
we're going to be breaking down. We're going to be breaking down the news and presenting something. Like we're going to be trying things out. Honestly, it's going to be very, very fun. And I'm actually trying to pull up my little file here really quick. I'm very, very prepared, as you can see. Very.
You got a long time before the show. You got 8 hours. I'd be like, I have a show today.
We're going to be speaking to Noah Lieberman, who's running for District 14 City Council in Madison in the first hour at 5:30, and then in the first part of the show, we're going to be introducing ourselves to the new show, talking about the news, and then just kind of having some fun. And in the second hour, like I said, we'll bring it back and to talk more about entertainment. We'll be talking about, we're going to be sitting down today and deciding the structure of this first show, but we have an idea of where we want to go as far as the presentation. But we're looking forward to having Noah on because we are in an election year and we need people to be informed on who's running for what, especially in those seats that really affect them.
Well, that's Greg Bach. He and Pete Schwaba are hosting the all-new Nightlight tonight and every night, Monday through Friday, from 5 to 7 here on the Civic Media Network. Greg, it was great meeting you, even this way. Good luck with the new show.
Thank you very much.
Tell your co-host, he's out.
He's
on
never
the
welcome
out.
again.
And the name is changing. Now it's
Nightlight with Greg Bach. Yes!
That's it. If Schwaba can't get up, he's out.
You're listening to Daybreak with Brian Noonan and Jamie Martinson on the Civic Media Network. Thank you for joining us today.
We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
All right, folks.
Perfect.
Ooh, look at that.
That's Daybreak.
Oh, look at that shiny. Who doesn't love new it's new graphics day. New graphics day. All right.
Yes.
All right,
Greg,
friends,
good luck tonight.
As
Thanks for
soon as
showing
you
up.
asked me, what do you expect to see on the show? I'm like,